Hell yeah.
Going live, baby.
We're on, Zach.
Look how big
We're
the
here.
head is on these things.
It's amazing that they can hold that up with such tiny necks.
Ooh.
We just spend the whole time talking about African animals and shit. It's like our David Attenborough.
It's not like we
shit.
don't watch Planet Earth. We get
Exactly.
high anyways.
This is BBC Texas.
Big black
Well, like,
couches
I don't know what that is. I've never
in
seen
Texas.
nothing like that before.
We got those things though.
We got those in my uncle's fancy ranch.
Yeah, they're not native.
Those
but
are
we
actually
can
white-tailed deer. That's just outside of Bastrop, Texas.
It's just a different breed.
Dude,
You can
actually,
tell by the way the trees are
Texas and
farmed.
Africa
Those are
look
axis
very
deer.
similar. At
It's
parts.
very true.
Texas
I've
and
been to
Africa?
South Africa.
Yeah, my dad will like go
It
hunting in
looks-
South Africa and send me pictures. I'm like, you're in East Texas. Get out.
Yeah.
Quit lying to me, man.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I guess let's kick it off. Just like introduce yourselves, let the people know who you are and whatnot.
Cool. I'm Tate Mayeux.
Oh yeah,
Cory Johnson.
James Moritz.
oh yeah. And they're all three amazing musicians. Where can people find y'all's music? Just kick off a little promotion stuff so people can go listen if they want.
My current music is on Spotify and Bandcamp and iTunes. If you're looking for like my old projects, such as like Sea Dogs
Nice.
and Say, you can find that on myspace.com or Pure Volume.
purevolume.com, dude. I
Yeah.
hope that's still up. You probably have some old
Jake was a
music there.
member in my band Sea Dogs. Played
Yeah.
synthesizers
Hell yeah.
in a Christian metal band.
That's true. It's
So it's a
facts.
shout out.
Yeah.
And most of the time people will be like, I couldn't tell like what you were contributing. I was like, that's a lot of low end, you know. might have mistaken me for the bass player. How about you, Corey?
Most basic platforms: Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, YouTube. If you don't pay for anything,
Nice.
and Cory Johnson. And the easiest way to find it, because there's multiple, is typing in museum. It'll usually bring up the EP I just released.
You're not the only Cory Johnson?
No, there's more.
Damn.
And usually, and if you type it into Spotify, you can type in Cory Johnson verbatim, and the first thing that shows up is Cory Johnson.
Well, that's fun.
yeah.
That's fine.
Shout out to Cody. Thanks for that.
Do you have any feelings about Cory Johnson?
Super nice guy, but it's just, the name is really inconvenient.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes
You
sense.
should try to get him to switch his name.
It's like, hey,
Like
dude,
Toby
I
Johnson.
know you've been doing this thing for a while, but could you make it a lot more convenient for me?
And James, where could people find your projects and whatnot?
Wild Disguise can be found on any streaming platform,
Nice.
and as well as Bandcamp and iTunes for purchase.
Oh yeah, and everyone's name is like at the bottom of the page right now. So
Somebody, I can see the messages, and somebody put #Kojo, which I was on the phone with a friend on the way over here and was explaining that a lot of the people that we play with or interact with don't know who Cory Johnson is, and so they have no idea that there's another guy that's much bigger than me that goes by Kojo.
Yeah.
And so whenever we played at Whitehorse for my birthday, they had balloons that said Kojo above the stage.
You are my one and only Kojo.
I didn't do that. Here, let me do that.
yeah. Well, Tate, what got you started in music? I know you were saying you're in a bunch of other projects before country and stuff. It's been a big part of your life forever. I know that because I've known you for a long time. But
Yeah. Should we get that out of the way? How we met?
sure, why not?
I went to a extreme sports Christian camp called Sky Ranch in Van, Texas, and I was like the loser that just brought his headphones and just like walked around.
You brought a skateboard with you.
Brought a skateboard, but I like didn't like hang out with the rest of the kids that much at first. And Jake, we were in 7th grade, and Jake over here came up and was like, "What do you listen to?" And I was like, "I just got Green Day's Greatest Hits," and what else did I have? I had something else, but yeah, we were
Kingdom
just
of the State.
maybe
Was it a used album?
maybe it was the used, but yeah, we just like tripped out on Green Day, and so that's how I met Jake Kirshen. And so I've been into music just like any kid since I was pretty young, but I think it was like once I like landed the role of like quarterback in high school and I got like hit for my first time, I was like, I should really learn how to play the fucking guitar. And that's kind of where that.
It's funny you say that because I remember
that was like my
having my moment of like, oh, I'm quitting football. And
yeah,
I'm gonna be
just
in band.
Sports in general. I was like, why is this person yelling at me? And how can I get good at something else and that chicks dig? But that was just getting into music in general. And then I just had like a crazy night whenever I was like 19 where I like randomly walked into this place called Cheatham Street Warehouse in San Marcos, and a guy named Hayes Carl was playing, and within like 30 seconds of his first song, I was like, this is who I am now. I'm Hayes Carl. Or I want to be Hayes Carl. Now I don't as much. I think I just want to be myself.
There's nothing wrong with that. He's a badass.
He's great. Yeah. But that was more or less like what got me into it.
Oh yeah.
Getting hit.
How about you, Cory? What got you into music?
I guess it all started. My uncle is a musician. We were talking about earlier before we got started. Played in a band, fronted a band, and then played with a guy named Billy Joe Shaver, who like wrote a record for Waylon Jennings in the '70s. And it was one of those things that it dawned on me watching him play one time. It's like, oh, that's something I could do. That looks like a lot of fun. Right. I remember growing up, we like mom always had music playing. We always sang along with the radio. And then it was like this thing just happened whenever I was watching him perform one time, and it's like, oh, that's something that I could do. And my dad bought me a guitar for Christmas. I didn't even ask for one. He just bought me one. And so,
what was it? What was your first guitar?
It was like one of those like little packs. It came with a little plastic amp that like ran on batteries and had like a little 2-inch speaker. But it was like it was called a Telluride or something.
Oh yeah.
It was like a metal guitar. It had like the metal knobs, and it had like one pickup.
Pawn shop classic.
Yeah, dude. And I don't know where that guitar is. I had let a friend borrow it, my best friend, and I bet he still knows where it is somewhere. But
so if he's watching,
so if
you gotta give that shit back, bitch. Terry, fucking Terry.
But yeah, and he bought me a guitar, and I wanted to be a drummer, and I had a drum set, and I wanted to be I went to high school. My graduating class was 83 people, and so in junior high, we decided that we were going to start a band with some of my friends, and nobody wanted to be the songwriter and write the songs, and so I was like, well, I've got a guitar, and I can write the songs, and then I'll just play them on drums. I'll teach you guys how to play it, and then nobody ever dedicated to it, and so I was just like the lone guy. I was the weird one.
Yeah.
It's a tough role, the songwriter. That's like the big thing people are gonna look up to and see is like the core thing. Anyone can just like play a lead once there's already a melody, but writing a catchy tune's hard as fuck.
Yeah, still trying to figure that out.
Yeah. Currently working on it.
How about you, James?
I grew up around just like really big fans of music. My dad was just like a huge appreciator, and I was actually going to like the Austin City Limits like tapings when I was like a little kid.
Damn, that's awesome.
So I didn't even really know about like wanting to play music or any of that stuff until I was like a little older. But I had like my first band when I was like 14 or something like that. But went to school for film in New York, and then I just like while I was there kind of fell into the music scene, and then just like kind of followed that rather than what I was like doing in school, and so it's just kind of like brought me here.
That's
to
cool.
This living room.
Obviously, I've asked like all the musicians like similar questions, like how'd you get going, and there's always that consistency of like my parents were like either really into music or they got me started. That seems to be a huge factor. It's like even just like listening to cool music and stuff.
Yeah, I actually have I have like a small kind of DIY studio at my house up north, but like I have the same baby grand piano that my mom played on like
nice.
Growing up, so like now I have that in my house.
That's awesome, man. I got my grandma's upright downstairs.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah,
thing.
I have my great aunts like old Wurlitzer as well.
Oh, fuck
Yeah.
We gotta give a shout out to our favorite Korean, actually our only Korean friend that we have. Shout out to Britt and Kim. What's up, girl?
And I want to know who the fuck Fish Chip is.
Who's Fish and Chips? $12.92.
Yeehaw.
But
Not
whoever they are,
hard
they're
if you're
trolling
Korean.
me. They're trolling me real good right now.
It's crazy, like how like big and tall Brenton. He's like just this built dude, and he has like the tiniest little penis in the world. And he like shows it to everybody. It's crazy. He's like, look how small my dick is. Yeah,
It's not proportional at all.
yeah. It's kind of weird.
That's
No
hilarious.
comments.
Hell yeah. Well, one consistent question. I'll just get some of the regular shit out of the way, and I feel like y'all get some good answers to this. But I ask, you're stuck on a desert island. You got 3 albums the rest of your life. It's a tough question, but what are you going with?
You want to go one at a time so we have time to think about what's going on?
And just so you know, we do consider like compilation albums and greatest hits albums as acceptable answers.
Greatest tits?
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
greatest hits.
Cool.
Oh, yeah.
Like Tim went with like one of those Buzz Cuts albums, so he could cover all those like 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah. Or like Punk Goes Acoustic.
Right, exactly. That's a great answer.
I would say my all-time number one favorite record forever and always is Joe Cocker and Leon Russell's Mad Dogs and Englishmen.
I could see you going with that one.
Yeah.
Towns Van Zandt, Live at the Old Quarter.
Shit.
Double record.
So
He covers
good.
so much ground. He tells jokes. You get to see what it's like to. I mean, any full band Towns record is good, but it's not as good as just him and the guitar. And so that one covers a lot of ground and never gets old.
Yeah.
Absolutely, that's such a good one.
Can I guess what yours is?
Sure.
Does it start with an E?
Yes, actually, the record does.
Oh, not the artist?
No.
All right. Sorry. ahead.
But Rolling Stones, Exile on Main Street.
Ah, shit. Yeah, totally.
That is my just kind of go-to in general. If I just don't really know what I want to listen to, and like, just even the first song, you're just like immediately just like ready to fucking go. Like you're just having a good time.
Right. No, that's a great
So
answer.
even if you're on a desert island, and you're just like, oh fuck this.
Cheers,
sucks.
girls.
I'm on a desert
Cheers.
island. At least I can get my rock.
Cheers.
This is like Sex in the City.
Cheers. Who's the
Well, then
Samantha?
it gets-
I'm Samantha.
You're the Samantha.
Yeah.
The first album is always easy, but when you get to the number 2 and 3 is when it gets weird, because you got to think about longevity. You want
I already know mine.
you
I
don't
think I
want
know
to
mine
get
too.
burned out on anything. You want variety.
My number 2 is
God.
my number 2 record is JJ Cale Naturally, which had like huge hits from like the other people made big, but it had like They Call Me the Breeze and After Midnight and like Clyde and
I think last time we hung out, you were talking a lot about.
I
JJ Cale.
force feed anybody I come into contact with JJ Cale.
I can attest to that.
Yeah.
As a frequent band passenger.
Yeah. Even on like our last tour we did, I was like, all right guys, I promise we're not gonna listen to that much
You
JJ
were
Cale.
very good.
I actually
last
bought
tour.
3 new JJ Cale records and we only listened to like one of them.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
That's quite the restraint you
It
have.
kind of let me down a little bit. But it was just like a kind of like poor audio of like a live recording. Anyways, what's your number 2, baby girl?
Waiting for Columbus, Little Feet.
Oh,
Absolutely.
should have done that
You
one.
bought me a copy of that one.
I know. I love you.
That's a good one.
Mogwai 10 Rapid
Ooh,
would be another one.
okay.
It's
I like it.
atmospheric. and
Still like
just,
never
I just like
listen to
I don't
them.
know.
I like just love that record. I got it when I was in high school, and it was just like I just love it.
Hell yeah. You gotta love a good like 10 out of 10. One, if you're not skipping a track, it's a perfect record.
Yeah.
That's an island record for you.
Yeah.
All right, so
Third. Oh,
you're not getting off this island, by the way.
all right.
Oh yeah.
Third will be my favorite record from high school, which Jake actually bought me, which was Maylene and the Sons of Disasters, very first record.
Damn. That's a classic.
It's like, and I mean, I just bought it on vinyl because I didn't have it on vinyl, so I just got it like a couple months ago.
I'm
and
glad that exists on vinyl.
it's still like, it's like one of the main CDs that like stays in my car, and
I'll never forget meeting Dallas Taylor. That was such like a game changer moment.
That was awesome. Yeah, I hope he's doing okay.
Yeah, me too. He's a legend, but
He is a legend.
never really like popped off too big.
He started Under Oath.
Oh.
Yeah. Did you ever get in that band?
No.
Oh man, it's fucking.
I missed it.
It's like tough ass music. It just makes you want to like lift weight. Like just when you put it in, like you just kind of like
Maylene or Under Oath?
you're just gonna like bulk up. Maylene. Yeah, not Under Oath. Maylene.
Under Oath was just in town doing like a reunion.
Like just start making.
It's tough as shit. Tough as John Jacobs.
Yeah, he just went all like Southern on everybody, and was like, "Fuck it, we're gonna do that Southern metal."
It's brutal. I want to play it for you.
Yeah,
the whole record front to back when we get done with this.
Okay.
What's your number 3?
I've picked 2 double records so far, so like,
Might as well do a third.
might as well. No, I can't think of another double one.
I mean, you're playing the game
I'm
well.
sure.
I like
I'm
it.
sure that
He's getting more bang for his buck.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You kidding me? I'm pulling out these doubles. No, I don't know, man. And I'm sure that I'll think of another double that's really good after we're done with this. But
That's
another
how it
one
goes.
that's always been that I've always listed in like my top 10 favorite records of all time is Silver Tongue Devil and I, Chris Christopherson.
That was my
Is
third.
that your third?
Yes.
Yes. We have a discussion.
Make out.
It's just so fucking good, and like the opening line of The Pilgrim.
Oh yeah.
Same
yeah,
wasting
yeah.
on the sidewalk with his jacket and his jeans, wearing yesterday's misfortune like a smile.
Well, here's something stupid. That was my like MySpace bio.
Yeah?
Remember MySpace had bios and
Dude.
everything. That was like that might still be.
I'm sure that I made a
Yeah,
Facebook post about just those lines, but that's like the strongest opening line in this. Like, I think that's the strongest
Totally.
opening line on that
Started
record.
writing this song about Dennis Hopper.
Yeah,
Right about
and Bill's just saying, yeah,
He's
just
such a
mumbling,
legend.
mumbling
He's, like,
the intro.
Getting like weirdly drunker and drunker
Yeah.
as he like before he gets into it.
And then there's the key change at the end of it.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, yeah. That whole and then like Jody and the Kid, like that Leonard Cohen
Good Christian
did
Soldier.
later, and like yeah, and just Silver Tongue Devil and I.
Silver Tongue Devil and I was
Like
great.
I think like that was the album that actually made me start writing country music. Like I was like 19, I was in like New York and kind of doing like the DIY scene, and the buddy that I was in a band with came to me and was like, "Hey, I got this record. I think you'd really like it." And I like went home and put it on, and basically just like never looked back. Like that was the record that kind of like made me like Wild Disguise isn't like country music, but my other stuff that I always did like with the Hang and like my personal stuff that I do now as a country songwriter has always been inspired directly by that record.
That one's huge.
Oh, yeah.
Loving Her Was Easier.
Yeah.
That one's fucking
Yeah,
great.
yeah,
And plus, he looks so fucking cool on the cover.
Oh yeah.
I feel like I've always thought of Christopherson more as like a folk singer than like a country singer.
He kinda
I know he's
is.
still country as shit, but
He approaches everything with a more kind of
Fucking
whimsical
Rhodes
kind of
Scholar.
flair to it. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
He's definitely a
everything.
badass.
He's acting,
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. I mean, he's
Acting,
probably
Rhodes Scholar, helicopter
all-
pilot.
Yeah, Army Ranger.
Yeah.
Right.
Of all the he's
Fucking true American.
he studied Shakespeare. Like that was his big what he went to Rhodes for.
Oh, that's
Or
interesting.
that was
I
his
didn't know that.
scholarship. He studied Shakespeare.
that's, and like he was sick and they thought he had like Alzheimer's, but he really had Lyme disease.
Yeah.
And so he was like losing his memory, and someone started treating him for Lyme disease instead of Alzheimer's. Am I saying that right?
No.
Alzheimer's.
Alzheimer's?
Old timers.
Old-timers.
Because old people
Alzheimer's.
get it.
Yeah,
They started treating him for Lyme disease, and like his memory started coming back.
that's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
Dude, Lyme is a motherfucker, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's
I
not to
like
be
it with
played with.
tequila, though.
Bad joke.
It's big on the East Coast too, and people don't know about it. You can just, like
Oh,
you
it's
said, you can
huge.
just
Yeah,
have
yeah,
it
yeah.
and not realize that you're just like dying from this random shit.
Yeah,
Doctors will like misdiagnose it all the time.
Glenn
It's,
Campbell.
that's a fucking
Yeah.
weird thing.
Rest in peace,
Lyme
Glenn.
disease.
Forgot about it.
It does from time to time on the podcast. We go on some weird tangents, talking about dark shit or aliens or something.
Yeah.
So, as far as upcoming projects that you guys want to promote, let people in the future know what to check out. Like, I'm guessing y'all have all been recording and working on stuff. Like any artist, the current thing you can find online is your old stuff that you're over, and you're ready to move on to the new good stuff. So, what are you been working on, Tate?
My band, Mayeux and Bruce, I recorded a year ago, and that was only 2 songs, and maybe someday we'll put those out. But we are going to record, I think, in December with John Evans, and which I know Cory's worked with in the past, and who's super awesome. And then since I just found out that I have a huge car payment due now, and I was going to be leaving in January, going to be gone all January, but now I'm going to be here, and I think I'm going to start recording like my first real like solo record.
Nice.
So I'm super excited about that. Basically all the like reject songs that like my band didn't want.
That's what I was gonna ask you.
Yeah.
Like, if you're sticking with the same genre, if you're mixing it up. Like,
I think it's just gonna be like more like they're just like more story songs instead of just like trying to write tough bangers.
that's awesome.
I just want to write tough music. I just want to write music for other dudes.
Just all about
Nothing
pleasing
wrong
the other
with that.
guys.
Yeah, I just love pleasing dudes. I just want to kind of like the mailing thing. I just want to make music that like dudes are like, all right, I'm gonna go work out to this, and like just go and just like pump iron and like I don't know.
Dude, like,
Get hard.
Yeah, the name for it
Exactly.
that me and my roommate Will and
that's a good
Mackenzie
name.
is Sweet Tough.
That's a great name.
I want to. That's the like my genre of music. Sweet Tough music.
I want to do like a fucking vintage rocky thing with Will, and I'll tell you the name for that one later.
You
I
don't
don't
want
wanna
to give it away.
Yeah.
Oh,
You hear that, chat? No stealing ideas, goddammit.
all right.
How about you, Cory? What do you got coming up?
I just spent the last few months focusing on. I put a EP out last Friday, and
Oh, yeah.
something that I've been working on since May, and I've been sitting on it for a little while, and just really concentrating. So all my focus has been on that. Just had a release party for it, and really happy to get those songs out. Really proud of the work that we did, but already booked studio time to start recording some more songs, and we're gonna go in, I think, and do 5 songs and see how we feel about them, and then maybe go back in and do a little bit more and put out a full length instead of doing another EP.
Nice.
Are you gonna record Teardrop Tattoo?
That is probably gonna be the title track.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Good.
Sweet.
It's always a good feeling. to
Such
get
a good
music
song.
out there and have that moment. It's like a little anxiety inducing sometimes, but then once it's out, you're like, "Poof, fuck yeah,
Cory's new record is super badass,
hell yeah."
and I went crazy whenever I found out that song wasn't on it.
You weren't the only one. I had
Everyone,
Yeah, we were in
everyone's like, "Is there a version of that I can listen to somewhere online?" And I'm like, "No, he hasn't fucking recorded it yet."
Were you
Yeah.
saving it?
Look, same fam, that song is sick. Yo, Fish and Chips 1292, who you? Yo, let us know.
Reveal yourself.
Yeah, reveal yourself.
Don't hide behind
Open that curtain.
screen name. Thank you, though. That's very sweet. God, who?
Apparently he's in your family.
1292 has some sort of significance.
Don't do it, hide.
No, I don't even know.
That's Zuri. That's Zach.
Zuri.
That's our buddy Zach.
Gotta hide behind the
the
delicious plate of fried fish and
That's
chips.
so funny.
Who the fuck is this?
But your breath smells horrible.
1,291 other fish and chips.
That's one fish and chips.
How about you,
So-
James?
somebody
What do you
born in
have coming up?
92. They're born February 2nd of 92.
That's my birthday. But
January 2nd of
Sorry.
92.
Yeah. Well,
So the day after your birthday, but not
hey,
92.
Yeah, totally.
Oh.
We're gonna find out who you
Fellow
are.
Capricorn. Cool.
Or maybe they were just born in December of 92. Either way, we're just
It's
bumped
true.
off.
James,
They're just fucking with us.
you got music coming out?
Yeah, please tell us about it.
Do we have to do something else, Dog?
Yeah.
Are they gonna come hang out? Or-
No.
There's a dog pound
I'm gonna have to
downstairs.
see deer on screen.
I'm gonna go pee in Jake's bed while he's doing that.
So
So I guess it's just me and you right now.
Tell us about your music.
Wild Skies has a new track coming out called Smoke Rings on December 5th. I literally just now decided that it's coming out on December 5th. So on Bandcamp, if you want to buy that shit, it's December 5th.
You just decided.
Just now. This is a world premiere.
World premiere
of a
release date.
Release.
Hey, you heard it here first.
Heard it here first.
It's
original as fuck, is what it is.
Do you Tear It Up with Wild Skies?
Wild Skies. So Tear It Up is just sort of.
I love that song.
Just a universal. So actually, if you want to find Tear It Up, it is already out right now on the James Moritz page.
You already recorded that?
Yeah, I did it with the Hang a few years back. There's a version of it. We might do a different version.
You know what I hear, and it's just because this is kind of what we all collectively do.
Yeah.
It's almost like a fucking urban cowboy type of song. You think Looking for Love or whatever, but
right.
That melody and everything would just sound so cool in that style of that era of country.
Oh no, totally. I mean, I wish that I'd been alive then, and I could have made some money off of it. But so yeah, that song's out. Smoke Rings, December 5th is what I just said. Wild Skies has all the music out already on the Out of the Box EP.
Nice.
On Spotify's and all that stuff.
That's
music video we're trying to get done by January or end of January, and that's about it right now.
That's always fun. I love working on the video.
And we're just recording. We just got through in the studio with the first foundational days of one of our new EPs that's going to be out later next year, and we're working with Gordy Quist from Band of Heathens on that.
Nice.
Whoop whoop.
Which was really great. It was a great experience.
Oh yeah, I've heard great things about what he's doing with other bands and stuff.
The last stuff was recorded by Will Sargent, who's awesome as well.
Shout out Will.
Yeah, same family. That's what last stuff we did was with Will Sargent at Sargent Sound, and then that stuff I said a year ago that we did was with Gordy Quist as well.
I remember you talking about him way back.
It's awesome. It's cool.
Well, I feel like you guys all could have some pretty interesting tour stories. I don't know if there's a certain memory or maybe a place that stands out in your mind that you want to talk about or any goofball shit like that. But
Tate and I just love Cincinnati.
I do. No, we really do love Cincinnati.
Really? Okay.
Cincinnati's this fucking gym, in the middle, anytime I've ever heard Cincinnati, I'm like, why would anyone fucking go there?
Right. Yeah.
What? I don't even know where it is on the map. It's in Ohio.
I hear that about Ohio in general.
It's in the fucking middle of America, and it's just this tiny place that's almost been forgotten about. That has all these crazy old buildings,
which are protected by the city, so you can't just go in and tear stuff down like we do here in Austin.
Now the place is bankrupt and falling apart.
There's definitely
it has
there's that.
up to go. There's nowhere but up to go.
So they're
that's what I love about it. There's so much
it's also just a
potential.
beautiful state.
Well, it's gorgeous.
There's
it's on a river.
Right.
It's
yeah.
I don't know why that's
there's definitely this really cool arts community, and there's just all these cool nonprofit things going on.
I don't the Ohio or the Kentucky.
The Ohio.
It is the Ohio.
Over the Rhine.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's the Ohio.
Yeah. Which I remember years ago, Georgia and Tennessee were having this dispute about the Tennessee River. It was years way back. Apparently it was called the Georgia River at first or something like that, and then Tennessee swiped it and had it renamed.
It's ours now.
I just think of Johnny Burke.
Yeah.
Miss you, dog.
Yeah.
Miss you, dog.
He's out.
But he's out?
Yeah.
No shit?
Yeah.
Dude, nice. That wasn't very long.
Ago. 9 months.
9 months? I thought it was going to be longer than that. But he's got a song that's smoking crack on the Ohio River. That's so good.
Hell yeah.
Okay, I will say Cincinnati's super cool. the city seems to be like giving back to the arts community, to the fact where there's this like down the street from the Motor Pub where we usually play. There's like the city like helped this like nonprofit get started. It's a nonprofit like art shop. So any of you like your like art shit that you don't want, like you take in and you like donate and you get like kind of like a currency or like you get like
Ohio
you can Ohio bucks and you can like trade it in to like get more art stuff. So like there's this huge like
cool.
artist community, as in like painters and stuff, not like necessarily musicians, but like there's just super cool stuff. They appreciate music like in my experience significantly more than like a lot of the other like bigger cities that we've gone and played at. But
I love hearing about social programs like that where it's like
it's just
supporting
fucking cool
art in general. Like it's never gone wrong. I feel like it's always, if you just want to be an artist and make that grind, you should have as much help as you can. It's like there's something really valuable about art that people kind of don't appreciate as much these days. Not that they don't appreciate art, but like in France, like they will literally pay you like a yearly salary if you just choose to be an artist.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You might not make a ton of money, but it's just like on the off chance you're the next big thing, it's worth it for them.
Yeah. Was that where that guitar shop was? Was that in Cincinnati? The one, like the 3-story one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Craziest guitar shop I've ever been to in my life. Like vintage guitar shop.
Really?
Like the most bizarre shit I've ever seen. I wish I knew what it was called.
Yeah, me too. It was like 3 floors and you'd go to one and it would just be like, endless back rooms. It's like one of those old factory buildings where like there's just like, here's all of our Fender Bassmans. We have every single Fender Bassman head from like 1960 something until like 1984. And then here's like a whole room of boxes, a whole room of Gibsons, and then here's a whole floor of acoustic guitars. And like
it's so cool.
There's just some nuts in there. Like I've never seen so much.
It's 3 stories and there's literally not a single space for like another guitar.
And they probably make all their money off of like internet sales.
Yeah,
it's
that's
all like reverb.com probably.
I will say though, we did get sideswiped. Yeah, the van got sideswiped by some crackheads. Right before we were heading to that guitar shop. I guess I'll leave race out of this, but these crackheads fucking swiped. Yeah, I guess I just said it, but anyways, we got like sideswiped by these crackheads in this car, like in our van. And they were like, what the fuck? And we I guess they broke off their like mirror and the girl's like going crazy. And then like Catherine was with us too. So there's like all 6 of us all like cowboyed up, start like piling out of the van. And the dude was like, oh, we're good. And like everyone they get back in their car and like take off. And it was in front of a homeless shelter. And so I just remember like grabbing my knife and being like, all right, Cincinnati, baby. Cincy, baby. Yeah.
I can see it was funny.
I would say like, I don't know. I mean, what's our craziest thing that's ever? We've gotten to experience a lot of cool stuff together.
Like serendipitous kind of moments and stuff like that.
But there's like, Zorthon.
Oh my god.
We stayed with this girl in Boise, Idaho.
Yeah, that was nuts.
And
but not like that.
It wasn't crazy. It was just like weird. Like there was like
comfortable.
We like couldn't find a place to stay because there was like a music festival going on, and so I like asked around the venue. I was like, "Is there anybody know anybody we could stay with?" And so they're like, Zorthon. So all right. So I meet this girl, super cool, super calm. She's like, "Yeah, I put up bands all the time. Y'all can come stay with me. You just gotta buy me some beer on the way home. You gotta I just need to ride with y'all." And I was like, all right, cool. So like she gets in the van and she's like telling us where to go, and then all of a sudden I hear like a pill bottle rattling and she's just like dumping pills in her hand and like eating pills. And we bought her like fucking like 12% craft beer that she wanted. Damn. And we get to her house, we like walk in and there's just like dog shit on the floor everywhere. And she's like, "Oh, come out, like I got this, like let me show you the pool table out in this garage." So this is where I'm guessing the pills start kicking in, because she's like, "Yeah, y'all play some pool." And then like we like rack the pool balls and like maybe get like a couple shots in, and then she's like, "Are y'all just gonna sit there and play pool all night? Are y'all just using me for my pool table?" And like starts freaking out on us. So we go inside, and there's like this cat that's like screaming, like just like, you know, like just freaking out. so we're like freaking out. We're like, hey, what's up with the cat? And she's like, what cat? We're like, oh, God. And then she just went like one by one, and she's like, can I lay on this couch with you, or can I lay in your bed, or like whatever. And it was and then the best part was it above the shower or above the toilet?
That was just kind of more depressing and sad.
Well, I don't know if she wrote it or somebody else did, but I think it was above the toilet.
It was above the bathtub.
Above the bathtub,
yeah.
Just in big letters, it said, "Don't do it."
Oh God,
I was like,
that's dark.
Yeah.
Was her name Zorthon? Or
I think that might just be her Insta.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I remember that morning I woke up to this dude walking out. So a bunch of dogs just like ran out, which explained all the dog shit that was on the floor. And like this dude was like walking out of one of the rooms, and a cat came out slowly after that. And so there was a cat there, and basically like I like looked up at him and I was like, what the fuck? And he was just like, oh, sorry. And I like looked down and there's just like a pile of dog shit, like just like right next to my bed.
That's so
no, but remember we went to this like they told us to go to this like local coffee shop. Right. We were like, all right, cool. We were like, sweet. So like, it's the first thing we always do. Like, we it's kind of funny because we always go get coffee somewhere and then we immediately go get like breakfast somewhere else. You know, I feel like, and so
it's a good routine. We
go into this coffee shop.
Try to keep him healthy.
No one can keep you healthy. Don't save me.
Yeah.
Anyways,
we can talk about that. That's its own conversation.
We go into this coffee shop and we're like, hey, yeah, like 4 iced coffees, and it's like this high school kid, and he's like, yeah, and then like literally just walks in the back, and like 5 minutes later, we're like, what's going on? And they're all like peeking out, and they're like, oh, they're still there.
Really?
So we just got like locals only by these like high school kids.
Hilarious.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
That happened to me at McDonald's the other day, which I never go there, and had this weird craving, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go. And like they wouldn't take my order at the fucking drive-thru. I like pulled up to the window and I saw him like fucking run in the back, and like I was just like, hey guys, yeah, I was like, I guess I'm not getting food.
Yeah,
the place is open. Right?
That we're in the middle of like bumfuck nowhere in New Mexico in our brand new van that I just got in the tires serviced. Literally, there's nothing in, like, we're on like a deserted highway and there's like a tire shop in the distance. And as we're like driving by the tire shop, our tire blew out.
Oh, that's kind of.
And they're like, "Oh, it seems your tire blew out." Or whatever.
Was it those spikes?
I wonder if that has nails we put up a row.
Yeah, I was just like,
no, totally. That's exactly
so
what
they
I
like
thought.
Fixed our tire. We like gave them $50, or no, they put on our spare for us. Yeah, they came down and put on our spare, and they're like, "Yeah, y'all are good." And I was like, all right. And I was like,
that's like the beginning of the Hills Have Eyes.
No, totally.
100%.
Yeah.
I got a nice story. We were in LA, and LA is always like really fun for us. They actually they treat us really well. It's really fun.
Thank you, Amber.
But, like, we were staying at who was it's place?
America Martin.
No, not that time. But yeah, shout out to America.
She's a great artist.
America
Martin.
That's all.
Amber Bradbury, hit that up.
Yeah, Amber. And Amber, shout out. Anyways, the first time we had gone, we had played at the Echo, and like we were just like craving a pizza, like real bad.
Oh, we were sitting at
like,
Zach.
Okay, yeah.
Zach's house. What's Zach's last name?
I have no idea.
That's right.
It's y'all's friend. But
that's on you, bro.
But anyways, we like ordered this pizza, and then like, you know, we're all like hanging out on a stoop in this building that was built like, you know, sometime in like, you know, like the late 30s. There's like palm trees everywhere. It's one of those long boulevards.
Oh, yeah.
And like we're just like, you know, having a good time talking, smoking weed, and all of a sudden, like after about half an hour, we're just like, oh yeah, where's that pizza? And we just like see this dude on a fucking scooter, like with like a little.
No, he's in a little Eclipse. There's a Toyota Eclipse.
He's on a scooter.
No, he's in a car.
Oh,
he's in the stereo.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the stereo blast.
Like metal, like emo metal.
It was like
music.
a Wayne's World thing where it's just like, and like the music stops. You're just like, y'all order pizza? It's like
yeah.
Goddamn
Like
right.
all like
All in
6 of us at the time were like, yeah.
Or like, oh, you remember when we were in Alpine and that dude just hopped out of nowhere and like asked us to use his phone?
Oh, the little,
And I
little
think-
Hispanic kid.
Yeah, we might have embedded like a criminal.
He was like,
He
he was 16. He didn't have a shirt or a cell phone. He just gotten kicked out of a
He got
quinceañera.
kicked out of. He'd gone to a quinceañera and he'd gotten. He was staying in a room with this girl and she had kicked him out.
Yeah.
And he was like, so anyways, aside from all the crazy shit that I just said, we'll just gloss over that real quick. At one point, like, he's like waiting for his ride. And
he kept calling us sir.
Yeah, he was always
Thank
like,
you,
yes,
sir.
sir. No,
Yes, sir.
And I
Thank
was
you,
like,
sir.
"You
No,
stop
sir."
calling me sir.
Yeah.
But at one point, like, he finds out we're musicians and he's like, oh man, like, I love like music and I play music, or like I like to sing. And Brian, the guitarist in Miami Broussard, was just like, he's like, oh man, let me drop a beat and like see what you can do with it. And so like
It's a good Brian
and like
He's a great
really
he's a great
good.
beatboxer.
and so
World
the
renowned.
kid's like a little like nervous, and so Brian's like, I'll go first. So Brian like kind of flows for a second, and then the kid starts going. He's just like, I was in the bushes, and then I saw these guys, and then they came and said, I need some help, and they helped me. It just like kind of went on like that. Yeah, no, I'm not kidding. Like it went on like that for like it was just a narrative of what had happened.
That's hilarious.
I set myself a timer because I wanted to chug a soda water.
Are you gonna shotgun it?
I think so. Well, I was just gonna chug it as fast as I could.
Dude,
Go.
I have another one if anyone wants to join me.
obviously you know Chachi.
Yeah.
So he started streaming on Twitch like a couple weeks ago, and he's been jamming some Fortnite. And he's got a thing right now where every time he gets a new follower, he shotguns a Miller
I
Lite.
love that it's like tilting up, or like tilted up as he's like chugging.
The elephant?
Yeah, it's like tilting up the truck. Like, as he's
Him and the
chugging.
elephant are one. I love that you set a timer to chug a sparkling water.
That's
Like,
surprisingly tough.
That's smart.
you're like,
Ugh.
staying hydrated. I love it.
I couldn't chug a.
Is that like one of
Sparkling
those
water like
flavored
that.
ones too?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Those like weird flavors.
It was orange.
Cold
Orange.
water,
Oh,
bro.
God.
Citrus.
Felt good.
Yeah.
Keep you from getting scurvy.
I saw Fiddler play like 2 weeks ago.
Your eyes look really shitty.
That's so cool.
It burns.
That's the toughest thing we've done all week.
Oh.
But they told a great
You look
story
like
about
someone who
like,
just got like a Publishers Clearinghouse prize. Oh God.
I'd like to thank
I don't want to be on camera.
Kojo.
Oh god damn it! Who is it that is doing the? I still want to know who Fish and Chips is.
They've
Fucking
been like
fish and
kind of
chips,
silent
reveal
for a
yourself.
while. Maybe they like signed
They
up.
might
I think I pissed Britton off. He said
They might have.
I started talking about how small his dick was.
Yeah.
Oh, it's only forever on
It's like,
YouTube.
it's not-
No, I saw Fiddler play a couple weeks ago, and they told everyone in the crowd a story about like them realizing they were pulling up on
Just
like a drug or one of those stops. You know, what was it called? Whenever like
A checkpoint?
a checkpoint, right?
Yeah.
They saw the checkpoint
I went to
coming,
the one up
and they were like,
Get the
"Fuck
ring,
all the
let's just-
drugs in the van." And they pulled over on a random spot on the highway and just like buried it in a hole, and then they used like their iPhone to just like pin. And they like saved the pin, and they were like, we did like a couple
what is this
stops
for?
and came back and found the drugs.
Oh
Fiddler?
shit!
Yeah, they're a badass band.
Damn.
They're not traveling without their drugs, and then they were like, "Fuck it!" But the fact that they found them, he's like, "And then we did them that night," and I was like, "Oh, that's awesome."
We kind of did
We-
that.
we
Like,
did-
for Terlingua.
Terlingua, were you?
Yeah.
You weren't with us though.
I didn't go. With
You didn't go,
because I
yeah.
had a lot. So
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't.
He sit back. We like went to Terlingua and like
I've never
I mean,
done that. I've heard so
we just
many
had a
good
bunch of
things.
pot, but like
yeah.
we like left most of it back in Terlingua with folks that we don't know, and then we like smoked as much of it as we could, and everyone in Terlingua was like, "Hey, y'all be really careful at the checkpoint," you know, like the dogs and everything, and so. We like I was so nervous driving, and it felt like it took forever to get to the checkpoint. And we even like stopped right beforehand and like tried to clear, make sure everything was gone. And someone was like, someone gave us a tennis ball, and they told us to put the tennis ball by the door of the van. So if the dogs came by and the door opened, the tennis ball would like fall and roll, and the dog would chase the tennis ball.
Jesus.
So we had like 100 tennis balls in the van. So they opened the van, it would just be like, yeah. Anyways,
we learned.
Anyways, we like got up, and we like pull up, and the cops or border patrol or whoever the fuck they were like come out, and they're like, y'all in a band? And we're like,
oh man,
yes sir, yeah we are. And I was like, you want a CD? And they're like, oh, there's cameras, we can't take gifts, but y'all are good, go ahead.
Yeah, but I do want to see in your asshole real
no
quick.
They didn't do any of that. They were just like super cool. They were like,
nice.
Hey, cool. They brought the dog out, and like the dog kind of walked around.
Yeah,
and, like,
all the driving I've done.
It's kind of intimidating, dude.
Intimidating.
Yeah.
I used to.
I don't think it's legal. I mean, obviously they do it. But
yeah,
like,
I mean,
it's not okay.
No, the Patriot Act made it okay.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it was this thing that happened.
But I mean, like, I don't necessarily mind. Like,
what are you talking about?
No, the checkpoints.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like when I was a kid, we had land like near Eagle Pass, and like so we'd go get like groceries and everything like in the town Eagle Pass, and when you it's like right on the border with Piedras Negras, and so when you leave,
what did you call
they like when you leave, they like you have to go through a border patrol stop, and I remember like as like when I was like 15, 16, stuff like that, like they used to give me shit for like driving into town without a license and stuff like that, but like they can't really do anything, and for the most part they're not looking for drugs, they're looking for people.
Oh, okay,
like,
that makes sense.
Yeah. But like yeah,
that's interesting.
Corey, do you have any interesting stories?
Oh yeah,
about tour? I feel like me and James hijacked the.
No, that's fine. I haven't toured much. I did see Matt Gracie trade a drink ticket in for a glass of milk at a bar one time.
The fact that they had milk is
they
impressive.
had milk? Oh, because
White Russian.
Yeah,
stuff
Russians.
like that. But I mean,
fucking Russians.
Just one.
And he's
especially the white.
And I mean, he'd already used a couple of drink tickets already, but he gets the glass of milk. And I was like, they'll probably just give you a glass of milk. I was like, I don't think you have to give them a drink ticket, but I think it was the thought of him giving them the drink ticket and him getting a glass of milk in exchange was what was doing it for him. And he got it, and he took about 2 sips of it, and he goes, no, that's 2%.
I'm a whole milk kind of guy.
I'm an almond milk type of guy. My doctor told me that my tits are getting big because of
soy.
No, real milk.
Oh, really?
So if I swoop down to the almond milk and cut back the cheese, which I didn't,
you'll be a B cup.
Then I would be a B cup. Lately, it's been Asiago.
Yeah, should we get into
It's been peppered Asiago.
Do you ever go to like Central Market or and get some of the good stinky cheeses?
Do you have money?
No, but I will go broke eating cheese.
Well, they have these like little
you can buy the little piece. Yeah, you buy the little ends, and it'll be like $3 for like some very expensive cheese.
They have like three. They got like soft blues.
Have you ever had a really good smoked like a Irish smoked cheddar?
Oh god, yeah,
dude.
I've never had a.
Have you ever had a smoked cheese though?
Yeah, totally.
It's fucking amazing.
So good.
Like
really
I only experienced that for the first time like 2 years ago, and it was.
What was her name?
I'm gonna hit you.
So you've always
no. I like getting the cubed Asiago cheese HEB, and I get 2 containers because they're like half filled and they're already like pre-weighed out. So is what you do is that's the first stop you do when you get to the grocery store, and you eat half of one container, and then you dump the rest of it into the other container so it all fits, and then you're only paying for one container. So instead of spending $10 on cheese, you're going to spend like $5 on cheese. And
secrets out.
You heard it here first.
I always like telling people
life hacks.
Me and Tate, because earlier you mentioned how we met at camp.
They're just stealing.
Right?
I remember my mom. So I used to do that when I was a kid. I would go to like the grocery store with my mom, and she would just like let me roam around or whatever. And I would always like go to the donut thing, and I would get a donut, and I would eat it before I got back. And my mom would be like, "Did you
eat another donut?"
I'd be like,
"You
no,
little shit! Did you eat a donut?"
I didn't. She's like, "There's sugar on your face." I'd be like, I'm I'm sorry, I ate a donut. And she's like,
Blue
it's
Coke
very
dealer.
important that you like, know that you're stealing.
You gotta
Mine
own
is
up to that donut.
I still do it though.
My
Like,
first job growing up was at Butcher Brothers.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah. And I was what 16, and the manager that ran the store just had this mentality of like I would sit there and talk to him, and he would take a bag of chips off the shelf, just open it and start eating it, talking to it. And so it's just, and I'm just, what is going on? And then it like realized in my mind, I was just like, oh, it's like free snacks. It's like you work at a grocery store. It's like, and like in my mind, I was just like, oh, that's part of the benefits of working at the grocery store, man. It's like,
You just get free snacks.
Bluebell,
I just recently worked at the Party Barn, and there was employees there that had that same mentality about all the beer on the shelves.
Just filling up my keg. Don't worry about it.
Oh shit! There's just beer everywhere.
That soda water's hitting me hard.
That was the drive-through spot is the drive-through spot on 33rd and Guadalupe. Shout out to Party Barn.
I love drive-through places where you can go and get a 12-pack or whatever.
Yeah, I worked there for 2 years.
There's a gas station that's over on South Congress.
Steve, I need a job.
Close to Little Darlin.
Yeah.
You know which one I'm
Yeah,
talking about?
I know
That gas
exactly which
station?
one you're talking about. Yeah.
We were it was Morgan, Thompson, Mark Kenny, and I all went to Little Darlin, and somewhere in the hang, Morgan invited John Evans to come and meet us at Little Darlin, and we don't know that he invited him, and so we're like, we finally get tired of sitting there, and so we're about to leave, and we're walking out the door, and I walk into John, and I'm just like, hey, bitch, what are you doing coming to my neighborhood and not giving me a shout? And he was just like, Morgan invited me, he said that y'all were here, and then Morgan realizes, oh yeah, I did invite him. He was just drunk. And so we step back in, we have a beer, and then we had Ubered over there. John's taking us back in the van, and we drive through that little drive-through gas station. Yeah. And John had no idea that it was there, and he went on like they already had the transaction. She had handed over the Modelo, he had handed over the money. That whole thing was done, and he spent like another like minute or two just there, like telling her, be like, "This is awesome. I love what you have going on here," and was just very appreciative of the service that was provided because it is a good service.
Yeah, it's like going to do like a full stop gas station
during the winter
or full service gas station.
I'm good. During the winter, I'm good.
You should have a little
peer pressure.
Also,
that's what happens, Mom.
There's the wacky tobacco.
But like during the winter, like
Armadillo cigarettes.
Jazz cabbage.
Should we fire that up?
Yeah, that's all you know.
Here, you.
I mean,
No, I'm not gonna start it.
But like,
Will you just spark it for me at least? I don't want to ruin it. Armadillo cigarettes.
The way to get it and lift it in there and all that kind of stuff. But like, yeah, it's nice for
so
people
you're not
to like not have to
smoking?
Like, deal with.
I haven't been since September.
He doesn't. So you and me have a.
Oh, we're smoking weed now.
It's an armadillo cigarette.
The jazz cabbage.
Can you bleep that out when he says weed?
Yeah, like.
And when I just said it just now?
I could cut it out entirely. Yeah.
No, just go beep.
You have to bleep jazz cabbage.
Jazz cabbage.
I think that's like insensitive.
All right, so
is it?
What was the last fucking question?
Crazy tour stories, wasn't it?
Crazy tour stories.
2% milk.
2% milk.
Yeah.
I will say I've gotten to see really cool shit. Me and James were just talking, like, we just played the F1 race.
Yeah.
And like we were just kind of like, man, we've got to do like such cool shit together. But I think the most like epic one is going to the fucking Grand Canyon.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing. And also because like, it's one thing to go experience something unique on your own, but to do it like with a group of people, like where like none of y'all have done it before. You know what I mean? Like,
Mom, pick me up. This party's scary.
No, to do it with a group of guys that.
Well, one, we all love each other. We're all like best friends, and then like the other thing is like none of us had ever seen it.
Right.
Like not a single one of us had ever seen a Grand Canyon before, so we all got to have like that intake.
Same first experience.
Yeah, totally.
And we never get to do anything other than like ride in the fucking van.
Yeah.
So the fact that we got to like get out,
Kind of like what we.
it's not a swisher, dude. That's an armadillo cigarette.
Fish and chip. 12.92.
But yeah, it was like last weekend where we drove all the way to Lake Charles just to hang out for an hour and drive all the way back. That
Are you talking about
has huge nipples, by the way?
so driving there and driving back?
Yeah.
To Louisiana?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucked.
Yeah. Have you had to do anything like that yet?
What's up?
Just those like dumbass long ass drives there and back.
I used to do a thing in Louisiana that we would drive to and drive back from every night. They offered us a hotel. It was like one of those. It was one of those fucking casino truck stop casinos.
Yeah.
But it had a hotel attached to it. And it was this building that was like the size of this house, which is very spacious. But it had like a truck stop in one part, and you could walk through the door and be in the casino bar, and then up above it was a hotel.
Yeah.
And we would go and do that, and they paid us really well, and we would go, and it was shitty. Like there was a woman that worked there, and she worked in the cash out like booth.
Yeah.
And which faced us directly, and so she would sit, and she was like behind bulletproof glass, but had like slits in it so she could hear us play, and she like always loved hearing us play, and she was always really sweet and interacted through this booth, and so she would like yell through the glass so we could hear what she was saying, but we would play there, and it was always like an endless. There was always truck drivers that were coming in.
Yeah.
And
they're bad speed.
We would sit there and we would just talk to these.
That. That's fucking huge.
Powerhouse, dude.
You can always put it out.
What'd she say?
What?
What'd she say?
The trucker?
No, the lady.
Lady? Oh, she would chat with us. She also paid us out at the end of the night because she worked in the money booth, you know. But no, we would always talk to the truckers because there'd always be truckers that would come in. And that was like, those were some of the first people that started talking to me about little feet and stuff like that. This was like almost 8 years ago, I think.
Damn.
Like petite feet.
Petite feet.
Like size 5 shoes.
Like Pornhub, yeah.
Sounds like a lady, man.
So I want to know, like, what's y'all's favorite venue you've ever been to and played at? Like,
Oh, fuck.
There's got to be so many at this point. There's always that one where you're like, damn, people play here, and then there's others where you're like, the sound is perfect and like the environment's amazing. I mean, I could think of just in Austin. Like,
My favorite place to play is the White Horse.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
Really?
That's it. They just like takes such good care of us. We get paid awesome.
Fairly and well.
Like everyone's dancing.
The vibe.
And there's other like Austin like staple country bars. Like I'm not gonna name names, but it's like it's just like a different, more conservative. Like there's.
No, I hear you with that.
I mean,
makes sense. White Horse is like this unique crowd of like new country, you know, like the modern younger kids, like, but you still have the dancing, like they're they're into the old vibe.
They're still very traditional
it's
people.
Very traditional,
and I mean, there's old cats that still come in and play there too. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
like it's all like built within like this homage to like, you know, like what we all loved about growing up with that kind of music.
Right.
You know, like it's this sort of like almost like time capsule. Like it doesn't necessarily exist in like something before now. It doesn't necessarily exist in now or later. It's just like you have this one little spot in Austin that's just like almost timeless.
That's a good way to put it.
And that place has a built-in crowd,
right?
And that have a specific set of things that they like about bands and stuff. And I was nervous going in whenever we first started playing there because we don't do a really traditional country thing. It's on the edge of rock and indie music and stuff, but there's still a country tinge to it. But I was nervous going in about how we would be received there because I was like, they're either gonna like it or they're gonna fucking hate it, you know, because it's not the honky tonk that they want to dance to, or whatever. And I was nervous going in, and we started playing, and because I've played there every week since July, and those people that I thought weren't going to like it or were going to be, hesitant about us, they've shown up time and time again to come and watch us play, and always make it a point to put some money in the tip jar or thank us for playing or send a beer up. And even though it's not the normal thing, it's still something that they can dance to and enjoy themselves to. So that's part of the reason that it's my favorite place. That, and like they said, you get taken care of so well. And
Oh, it's like best staff in town.
Yeah. I mean, it's like there's a little bit of a family element to it.
Yeah.
And they're gonna look out for you and take care of you.
Plus, like, aside from just like the, how well that they treat us and the music and all that stuff, it's also just like, if we're not playing there, like, it's also a place that, like, I mean, I just like to hang out.
You
there.
just want to be
It is
there.
like
right?
it is a meeting point. It's
and
like
all of
hub.
our friends. It's like a hub.
Oh yeah, well, shit, I've run into celebrities there on top of, like you said,
Well, we
that
don't
built-in
know
crowd.
They know
But just
us.
the fact that it extends to that point, that people like what's Justin Long, that
Totally.
they appreciate that.
The Dell
They're
guy?
Like,
Dude.
Justin Long,
Yeah.
he's done so many movies.
Yeah, he was the Dell
Oh
guy.
yeah, no, he was the Apple guy.
The Apple guy.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
yeah,
Sorry.
I mean, I knew.
The Dell guys, dude, you're getting Adele.
Yeah.
Dude, he was
Adele?
awesome.
Adele.
Grammy
oh, wow.
lost
winning
his job.
She's so
Grammy
good,
Award
man.
winner Adele.
Dude, you're getting
He lost
Adele.
his job because of weed.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
The
True that.
Adele guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Him and Ricky Williams.
Dude, Ricky's
That's
such
clever,
a
dude.
gangster.
Yeah.
He just said
I'm
fuck
cool
it.
with
Run, Ricky, run.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love the vibe.
I do
there.
love that he was
I'm
just
a
like,
big
I'm
White
not
Horse
quitting.
fan myself.
Yeah.
Weed.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not quitting
Uh,
weed. I'll quit the NFL, but like, I'm
Yeah,
not quitting
right?
weed.
Kidding me? I just
He has his
video.
priorities, man.
Yeah. Other than that, I love playing floors, country store in
I've never
Helotes.
played there.
Yeah.
It's like
Where's that?
it's in Helotes.
I don't even know where that is.
It's like outside San Antonio.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
like
okay.
north.
It's like on your way to Bandera.
What about outside of Texas? Anything stick out? I mean,
The Grand Ole
Dude,
Echo in
yeah,
LA.
The Echo in LA. It's amazing.
There's a truck stop casino in Louisiana that are.
Yeah.
nice.
Just kidding.
Don Pedro's in
That
New
place
York
sucks.
was amazing, but it's gone now. Some of my favorites. But yeah.
I feel like outside of Austin, LA is the only place that you'll see like
Oh,
that
Five
same
Spot.
kind of scene. That White
Yeah.
Horse scene is like
Oh,
real
for
big
sure.
there. It's a pretty cool vibe, man. I love it. It's cool, like you said, that remembering the old stuff, but then like kind of to your point about having that different sound, like that's what allows it, is that Austin vibe, and having people that appreciate the country and they want to hear that, but then they're also like, hey, I listen to every other genre of music, like let's get weird with it.
Yeah.
Very receptive.
I remember at one point looking back to the band, one of our first few times playing there. There's a song and it's on the EP that we just released. And I remember looking at the band and just being like, I want to see them try to dance to this one because it's a little bit different. And we go into the song and I turn around and there's people out on the dance floor already dancing to it.
Oh yeah.
And me being cynical and second guessing what I was doing. There was
Right.
already people out there dancing, and it was like, okay, so it does have a spot, it does have a place.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's like a unique style of dance that's happening there relative to like all the other clubs in town, but in general, that's not something you see a lot of people our age even doing anymore. Like, I mean,
There's also like something about the White Horse that like brings that out in people.
right.
You
Because
see
I
people
guarantee-
dancing there that would never have thought in a million years they would go out in two-step with somebody, or ask
Exactly.
the pretty girl they see at the bar to go in two-step with them.
Yeah.
But there's something about that place that brings that out.
Because I feel like you could put like the same group of people in the same band in like Hotel Vegas, and like the people, not as many people would be like dancing. you
No.
know?
Well, there's something beautiful about that, like as far as just interaction, like just say there's that hot girl, like any other time you're like, I'm gonna have to strike up conversation, maybe see if she'll let me buy her a drink. I don't know how well that'll go over. And there you just walk up and you're like, hey, you want to dance? And like, even if you're not good, the fact that you're willing to have fun and just go out there and be goofy,
Yeah.
Hey, I'm a shitty dancer. Would you like to dance?
And then there's the opposite side. There's that guy that everyone's like, holy fuck, he came here just to dance. Like, goddamn, he's
man.
crazy.
It is.
That's a whole culture and subculture in town.
Well, and I think like another part of the dancing thing is like there's like a big like sober community like within a lot of the dancing crew.
Really?
Like they don't drink.
Topos.
And so it's like a reason for them to like still get to like go to the bar, like get out.
That makes sense.
And like instead of like just sitting at a bar and like not doing
just
anything.
creeping with your water.
Yeah, it's like they get out and dance and like I don't know.
And then
It's
there's
cool.
the other thing I like about it, which sometimes it can go wrong, but the fact that on the patio there's that piano out there, and you just get like its own drunken thing happening.
The O piano.
Yeah. Everything from some equally amazing performances happening like impromptu on the patio to then like just people that should never have access to a piano sitting
Right.
down.
I heard somebody doing "Fast as You" by Dwight Yoakam the other day, and it made me so happy.
That's
out
awesome,
there
dude.
that I was.
Was it Ross?
No, it wasn't Ross. It was a guy with a shaved head.
Oh, Dennis.
Dennis.
Yeah.
Yes. He was doing it, and it was just fucking rocking. Are they fighting behind us?
Yeah,
Goddamn right.
seeing what's going on. So those are mule deer. Those are you can find those around Tennessee and
Oh, just hopped.
Dude, Ohio. I've heard
they
of
like Cincinnati a
Iowa.
lot too.
Apparently the hunting out there is just crazy, man. They break records.
Out here?
In Texas, but no, in Iowa or Idaho. I'm sorry, Idaho.
Oh, jeez.
Idaho.
Yeah, Idaho. It's kind of like what you were saying earlier about Ohio and how it's one of those just hidden gems that people don't really think about. But like just beautiful fucking country on top of just amazing scene.
Just like nestled between Montana and Washington.
Yeah,
on top of Wyoming.
exactly. That whole area of the world is just like unknown to me. Like I've spent a lot of time on the East Coast, or West Coast, a little time on the East Coast.
We drove through it.
Never been
It's a
up
lot of
there.
high desert.
Really?
Yeah, I mean it's gorgeous.
We drove through Idaho?
Yeah. Remember we stayed with the Zorthon in Idaho.
Oh yeah. The story we told earlier.
How could you forget what the name was?
Where was Shoshone Falls?
It was in Idaho.
Okay.
That was great.
That place is
actually.
super
yeah,
badass.
we basically came across
Shoshone Falls.
Well, the waterfalls themselves are amazing, but like up from the waterfalls is a giant lake. Sort of the D. Anyways, but it was kind of like it's set up like Barton Springs or like something. Like, it's like a community pool kind of setup with like lifeguards and shit, or just like
don't swim outside the line.
Yeah, because like where like Barton Springs goes into like the free section,
right,
is like
it's a waterfall.
It's like a 300-foot.
Oh yeah, that's
like,
a fucking.
It's like
waterfall.
Niagara Falls.
Holy shit. I was picturing like 100 maybe max.
No, it's huge.
Like we could see, you go out on this like observation deck, and there's like
very uncomfortable.
300 feet below you, there's like fucking paddle boarders and like kayakers and shit like that. And they're just like,
that's crazy. That sounds amazing.
but yeah, there's like kids like rock jumping, all that kind of stuff. I mean, this is like further up, not by the waterfall.
Right.
But yeah, no, it's amazing. Like that's kind of the best part about doing this.
You look at it in a mirror.
Is like you get to like go to all these like kind of random stops like in the middle of America that most people don't go to. Like most people in America know more about like other places than they do about like just the places that are in between like them and the next city. So it's
absolutely. I mean, if the average person with a 9-to-5 spends all year saving up money so they can have a vacation,
Turks and Caicos.
Yeah, they're not gonna go to fucking Iowa.
Right, they're not gonna go see the giant spool of yarn.
Right,
like,
they're like, we're going to the beach or the mountains.
Right, yeah.
Those are my choices.
We basically do what the National Lampoon's Vacation, just like on a constant basis.
Yeah, that's one of the great things about being in a band is the traveling and like you were talking about before with Zorthon, like just meeting random people that are willing to have you in their life because they're just that crazy of a person.
What was the there's always.
Did my alarm clock go off? No.
Did you set another chuggle?
Nope.
By the way, There's so much dog shit in your backyard.
Oh, it's a lot.
Oh my god.
It's a small yard with 4 dogs and some lazy roommates. It doesn't
it's
take long.
You could set up like a game of Minesweeper.
Yeah, it's pretty insane.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you go and clear it all, man, it doesn't. Take long, man.
Sure, yeah.
Especially
like some goats or something. Like,
right at this point, it wouldn't even matter. Yeah, I might as well have the goats. At least it's not in my house like Zorthon.
That's true.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, very true.
That'd be fun.
This is very true.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. Yep.
Any just like embarrassing type moments? I know playing in front of people can be crazy sometimes. I know I've had some moments where I'm DJing and I'm like, well, I'm now on like overdrive trying to correct or like figure out what's wrong. And
I had the classic. It was I played a band called the Teddies with our friend Britton Kim, who was joining us earlier on the chat thing. But I had the classic right capo wrong fret thing happen. And it was one of those things. Brent and I always stand on the same side of the stage whenever we play in that band, because he and I just like get into it and have a lot of fun playing on that side of the stage together. And so I'm playing and I realize it's like one of those things where you're just like in the middle of something, you're just like, oh fuck, I can't fix this right away. I don't know what to do. And so like I'm playing and I start the song off just me and the guitar. And then they all come in and everybody comes in all at once and they're just like, oh shit, this is definitely not right. And I'm like, what the fuck are they doing? So
it's definitely not you, right?
So this moment's going on and I'm just like, this is so fucked. And for some reason it never occurred to me to like, you stop playing, there's another guitar player and he can fucking carry your load for a minute while you adjust. And so I'm just like, I don't know what to do. Like I look over at Britton and like for like half a second, like he had shifted down to like my key because I was a half step up, and he had like shifted up to what I was playing, and then he realized that nobody else was doing that, so he had like went back down, and it was just like I felt this big after that.
Yeah.
We put it like the other guitar player in the band, CT, walks up and he taps my headstock and points at the capo, and he's just like, "Fucking move it!" And so like I was just like, "All right." So I did it, and then like we finished the song out. I tried to like end the song early, and I was just like, "Let's fucking get that." They're like, "No, we're finishing it." But yeah, that one was really tough. I hate that.
There's some aware bandmates though. Like that one of them even like went into the key properly.
Yeah, for half a second, then he fucking abandoned me,
right.
Dude. At least I thought he did. You know how loud that was at Hotel Vegas, and like that stage is really hard to hear on.
Yes.
Well, that's one of the beautiful yet terrifying things about being a performer is that like when it's good, it's really good and people praise you and like you love it and you're like, this is what I'm here for. When it's bad, you're like, everyone's staring at me right now. This fucking sucks.
Oh, dude, I wanted to fucking curl up into a ball. And
I feel like the older I get, the more nervous I get too.
I get nerves like it especially happens if I'm playing late, like I do every fucking week, that I'll just be like,
you're tired.
And then it's like the sitting around until you have to go and do something, because it's like playing at midnight is not like, playing an 8 o'clock or 10 o'clock spot. It's like, that's a fucking long wait. And to sit around for a certain amount of time and be like, I have nothing to do until this thing that I want to do, that I have to do, but I've got to do it at midnight. It's like this like awful feeling.
No, I feel it. Yeah.
Just sitting around. And
especially if you've like worked all day.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you going to go like sleep for?
Because I can't sleep during the day, especially if I know I've got something going on. Because I'm like such a paranoid and like I have so much anxiety all the time about anything and everything. And like I'm like OCD about being places on time. I've got this thing. How many times have I done Tuesday with Tater with you?
A lot.
And I've beat you there every fucking time. I'm always like, I've got this weird thing about I need to be.
Wrong with punctuality.
I always want to be somewhere, but it's like almost obsessive that like if for some reason I can't be there, it's like it's a really weird thing. And I don't know why, because like everything else I can throw out the window, but I like being places on time. And so like I've got this anxiety thing about being places on time, and then like, what are you gonna do until dead? And so I'm just like fucking nervous wreck, just
Yeah.
like a fucking ticking time bomb.
I definitely get anxious.
I started walking before sets. Like if I set up, make sure everything's ready, and then I'm just like I'm out. I like check my phone. I'm like, okay, I know exactly how much time I have. I'm gonna just like do laps downtown because I can't stand around just like next to my gear. Like you said, I get all fucking weird.
I can't. And like I'll be anxious until I get to the venue, and then I get to the venue and I'm not nervous because I'm like I'm here, my gear's here, everything that I need is in place,
right.
And I've done my job, but I'll be anxious up until that moment, up until I pull into the parking lot and I get my gear inside. I'll be just like,
I guess
is
it's
everything right?
better that way than being like the other guy that's just like, I'm 10 minutes late, fuck, hurry.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's like,
or getting nervous
at?
right before you go on because
Yeah,
I'll
that
like
too. Yeah, that's
you
rough.
know, I showed up at the video and all anxiety and everything's washed away.
I know me and Tate have talked about nerve stuff before. I mean,
Yeah, I try like not to eat like several hours before I have to like sing. I don't drink anymore really before I play.
Not
Like I'll
eating
drink in my
before is
song
very
swaps,
typical,
but like
but-
if I'm like full band, like rocking for an hour, hour and a half, it's like I'm definitely not gonna drink.
you definitely don't want a full meal on your stomach. Like I've heard the term, you want to be hungry, you know, like multiple ways. You know, you want to go up there and like work for it.
Yeah.
But drinking, you know, I've heard everything from getting drunk and then just having a couple. And some
Dude,
people
whenever
don't
I was
touch it at
younger, I
all.
definitely drank like a bunch and drank the whole time we were playing, and I don't know. Now I just get more anxiety.
Even with the drinking, that doesn't cut it out for you.
No, not at all.
I
Like
think it can make it worse.
like amplifies it.
Really, that's interesting.
Yeah. Yep.
About you, James? You ever get nervous or?
I used
He goes,
to,
hell no.
Yeah.
But like, I just have so much
Dude.
fun.
He's like, I just put on these glasses and I don't get nervous anymore.
I don't get nervous for
Hey.
stuff that isn't mine. So like if I'm playing like you know in my Broussard, you know, that kind of stuff, I don't really get nervous for that. But Wild Disguise I get a little nervous for sometimes. But no.
It's good.
Not so much.
When you're in the
anymore.
right profession, that's for sure.
Yeah. I just like it.
You know they
It's
say
just
if you,
so
if
much
you don't
fun.
get nervous, you're crazy.
Well, that's debatable.
I don't think they say that.
But yeah, I have a lot of fun doing it.
Oh yeah. I'm curious. I'm sure you guys all have different answers for this,
I
but
get nervous with new songs.
oh really?
That's what I get really nervous with.
I can see
But
that.
like, you know, if it's like, you know, a lot of us like are songwriters that do like song swaps
right.
that are like, you know, we have played these songs so many times. We've probably told these jokes that we tell like in between them 100 times. We've like, you know, we know like what kind of works sometimes, what doesn't work, you know, and can kind of use our experiences to kind of like slalom through it. I mean, like nothing's ever the same as it is.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Every show is like chaos theory, but no, I know what you mean. Like once you've done it and you know all the beats and you know how you can make stuff work, it's a different feeling than just being like, "Here's a new thing I'm trying."
yeah. But with a new song, you're just like, "Oh fuck my life!" Like I have no idea how this is gonna go.
I'm still horrible at talking on stage.
Yeah.
Never figured it out. I just want to play the songs. I'm so bad at talking and trying to.
I'm not saying I'm good at it.
It's
You're
weird
better
that
than
like
me.
it
You
just takes
hosted. I
like
did a
one
Tuesday
guy
with
that's
Tate,
good
but
at
Tate
it.
wasn't there, and you hosted it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
and
yeah.
you did a majority of the talking.
That's fun though.
That's something Tate's always been great at. I feel.
Talking?
Yeah.
Dude,
You can make
sometimes.
You make the crowd
I
laugh.
heard you
and
do
shit. That's
on
it.
Yeah.
whatever we did Halloween at
That's
one
right.
of I heard you do the who can top that shit? Who can top that shit?
Yeah.
It's funny though, like
Classic.
if you make the crowd laugh once and then like everyone else that's playing after you, it's like not
changes
expected,
everything.
but yeah, it's like people are like, oh, like I want them to talk like that. You know?
Dude.
Yeah. Well, because if you can engage them in between the songs, then they're gonna be paying attention to the songs.
Yeah, exactly.
That's another thing. I'm just like, how nervous are you?
Yeah.
It's like those nights where you're like chatty for some reason. You're just like, fucking look at me, you know. And then there's like the other nights where you're like, I'm just trying not to throw up in between songs right now.
I sometimes when I'm like hungover, I find it's like when I'm the most like chatty. and having the most fun.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Sometimes
Then
more
you just don't
charming.
give a shit.
Exactly.
Definitely not me.
Yeah, your guard's down. You're just like, fuck it.
I did one
Yeah.
not long ago that I was like kind of hungover for, and it was probably the best like stage dialogue that I had.
Yeah.
And it was whenever F1 was going on, and so I think that I spent a good portion of that set talking about
shit about
F1.
F1.
Yeah,
yeah.
making jokes about
Oh,
it.
it's great. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird weekend for us.
F1 is crazy.
Have you ever been up in that tower?
Mm-mm.
Did you go up?
No.
Have you ever
Dude.
been
No,
up?
I've never seen a show out there or anything.
No, so this was my first time ever going out there with these guys, or just
I've
first time.
played
in
there
You guys
general.
never invite me anywhere.
Dude, learn an instrument.
I can't.
Join my
dude.
band.
I'm so bad at everything I do.
Start playing the fiddle, boy.
Yeah.
Come on, bye.
Dude, one of those tambourine guys. Tambourine the fuck out of life.
Oh man, I'm gonna get a B3.
You
There
should.
you go. You should.
It's
Yeah.
my favorite vitamin.
It's weird to have a favorite vitamin when you need all of them, right?
Yeah.
No, I was curious before about like what bands y'all have like played with, or even just seen that maybe the average listener might not be aware of. That's just killing it. That deserves like more attention, sort of vibe. Like,
Alex Cameron.
Oh yeah,
Alex
definitely.
Cameron. I know that
Alex
you know
Cameron.
that.
Yeah.
Alex
I do
Cameron.
love some Alex
Oh,
Cameron. But he
I-
gets a lot of love right
Our
now.
boy Britton
Yeah.
Kim is back, and he
Yeah,
likes
yeah.
Alex Cameron too.
I'm a big Alex
yeah.
Cameron fan, actually, man. But
I
yeah,
saw
he
him
is
play
getting
it.
a lot of love.
Yeah, he's
now.
gonna. Actually, I just got into this new Jacob Ogawa is really good. He's
Not
a
familiar.
Scandinavian dude. But I was gonna say like just bands that we've come into contact
Yeah, like
with.
dudes in the scene. and
Fucking
stuff.
this band called Volk just put out
they're awesome.
their EP and they're great. They're just like a hard working fucking hustling band from Nashville. Duo Elliot and Chris. Shout out.
Oh yeah, I'll have to check that out.
A friend's band of mine, Unstoppable Death Machines. Always have to give love to them.
It's a great name.
Yeah, and they sound exactly like what the name says.
That's what I was about to ask.
Jordan Matthew Young.
Jordan Matthew Young.
Yeah,
He's fucking great.
Cold Jackets.
Cold Jackets for sure.
But then there's like a bunch of Austin staples. Just
Catherine, the gender.
Catherine the
Oh,
Gender.
Love
Uh,
that.
like Mike and the Moon Pies and Leo Rondeau and Ramsey Midwood and
What's her name's on the radio every 10 minutes
Carson.
now?
Carson McCone.
Fucking
Yeah.
Carson's
Hey
blowing up.
Brenton, you're out
Hey,
with Carson
Brendan,
right
you're
now.
with them.
oh yeah, Brenton's with Carson right now.
What's up, Carson?
It's I don't know.
Oh yeah, I figured.
Doug Strahan.
Some dudes in the
Doug
crane.
Strahan's
Just
fucking
some
Yeah, Doug
dudes.
Strahan.
Just 4 guys
Nice
in a
Flash.
hippopotamus.
Lonesome Heroes.
James Steinman.
Jim Stanley, Chris King.
Corey Johnson.
Corey
Ronnie
Johnson.
Broussard, Wild Disguise. Yeehaw Britain.
Yeehaw. Fucking A,
The
man.
Teddies.
The Teddies. Yeah.
Taylor Englert.
Dude, Englert's a little
Tingler.
solo
T.
thing.
Englert.
Tingler.
Man, killing it.
She says hello.
That's funny. What's y'all's favorite town outside of Austin to play in? We said White.
Play in?
Yeah, like White Horse.
We had
is the
mentioned
city. I know you mentioned
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati, and
I
you
wouldn't
mentioned
say that's like
LA
a fun
as
place.
well.
It is a really fun place to play. We love it. LA. for
Like, as
me.
far as the
With Ryan
crowd and
Broussard, I would
stuff.
say LA is.
Yeah.
I
like,
can't remember
yeah.
the name of the town, but they have this little truck stop casino in Louisiana that's really good.
Yeah.
What do you take? You have a favorite spot that just kind of brings it for you? I know you've done a million of those little Beaumont shows, and you've been to San
I
Antonio.
mean, Beaumont's always fun. There's always a bunch of friends.
Yeah.
Okay, our friend Brock used to have house parties on the east side, and that was
Oh yeah.
paid nothing. Excuse me. Didn't pay anything, but they're awesome shows because we just like packed 50 people into like a dining room and just played, and
That's always fun. Like house
Fun.
party vibes,
yeah.
like back in the slam dunk days. You know, just like that,
Yeah.
that environment is so fun. Like
Yeah.
when everyone's into it. it's just a different feeling, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all been to the show where it's just like, man, the guys on stage are killing it, and the crowd's just sort of standing around. You know?
Yeah.
Like, when everyone's giving their energy to the band and they give it back, it's like, fuck, this is what it's all about. It's such a cool thing.
Actually, yeah, like a lot of the house shows we've done have always been more.
It's fun.
They're just like, yeah, like you said, engaged.
We had one of those with the Teddies one time that we played at Mohawk, the indoor stage, and had a bunch of people come out. But I was sick. I was like on death's doorstep, super, super sick.
Damn.
And it was like the sound guy showed up late, and I felt so bad that I was like laying on stage just waiting for the sound guy to get there and perform it. But it was our first show that we used Ethan to play drums with the Teddies. And he showed up, sound guy ended up showing up, we started an hour late and fucking slayed it. And like I don't remember most of the show because like I had a fucking fever. I was
right,
really temperature. And
Baby doll.
Great. Peter Frampton wrote that shit,
I know. Keep going.
Anyway, but it was like, who the fuck is Fish and Chat? Who are you? But it was a killer show, and I don't know how we got onto the subject of it.
Weed.
It's not that, dude. It's fucking
armadillo cigarette.
It's that K2 shit.
That's K2, dude. Get peaked.
Dude, that shit's so crazy, man. I saw a guy.
You mean Swisher Sweets?
He got thrown out of was it Mohawk? I believe it was Mohawk because he smoked some of that shit and had a bad trip, and he tried to fight this random guy. I was just like walking down the street.
Or what?
It was that K2 stuff, the fake weed.
Oh, that shit that's like potpourri poison.
Yeah, it's like potpourri that they spray with like synthetic fucking. It's THCB that they create in a lab, but the problem is that in like nature, plants won't create just bee, but we only know how to create the bee in the labs. So like normally it's like a combination of like A and D or whatever it is. Yeah. So that's like the big issue is that people have weird reactions to it. Some people they're like, oh, it's just like weed for me, and other people they just like have like psychotic breaks. And I watched this guy fight like 8 dudes at once, and the cops fought.
Yeah, no, I've seen that shit. Like, I remember when I lived in Nashville. There was like it was impossible for me to find weed. Like
really?
Yeah, it was like the hardest thing in the world. I have no
some cities,
and like it was so funny.
And
you're right. In some cities, it's really hard to do because people like and a lot of people still do it. They like hoard their sources.
Yeah,
as they should. You know, you got to protect your people and all that kind of stuff. But like, I remember in Nashville, it was like, dude, not only have you been to my house on multiple occasions, broken bread with me, fucking like we've had long conversations, like you know my girlfriend, I know your girlfriend. I am not the cops. This isn't like a long troll. It's so difficult. But people would be like, I remember I was playing music with this guy like Dave Vandervelde out there, and he had like a connection at the time, and would just be like, I could probably help you out. And you're just like, well.
Come on,
Everyone's asking where I'm looking because I'm reading all this shit.
Well, especially it's so weird now too because the fucking whole West Coast is legal. Literally the entire West Coast.
And a lot of Republican states went medical in the last election, which is crazy.
He's looking at chat.
I'm glad that Britain's back. Yeah,
there's a monitor right to that side.
So I see what Britain's saying.
He says,
Brenton, do you want my bed when you get back, or should I get rid of that?
Is that whose bed he's buying?
No, he's not buying anything.
No.
It's like give it to him.
Oh, well, he asked me to help him move a bed not long ago. So
but I realize it's not a queen; it's a full size.
Full size.
It's full size, not a queen.
It's not the same thing.
But it's still Britain won't fit on that bed. So whoever this is knows Britain. Oh, you're slowly gonna reveal yourself. What bed? Oh, dude, don't dog him.
Texted you about a bed when you were in Indianapolis.
I love that this one's become like.
Wait, Dukes? Is Dukes in Indy?
That was in Indianapolis, yeah.
Yeah.
That place was fucking weird.
That place was cool. It was. We were on like a Tuesday night. It wasn't like a weekend night. It was
Dude,
cool.
I'm bored.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, that place was weird as fuck.
Oh,
Although the
They had
guy
Blood
who,
Star.
like,
The guy that
Look
owned
at-
it was bad.
Britton is confirming that he'll take the bad though.
He's like, oh,
yeah,
that's bad.
it's a
Oh,
full
yeah.
size, not a queen.
that's funny.
That
Right,
was
Chris
great.
was it.
Oh, he's talking about my thing of the picking up the
It's okay.
bed. Craigslist stream.
Got a box spring too, bro. All right. Anyways, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
What else you got?
It's a good. Oh, I'm trying to think. Like, there's all these like dumb questions that we have on reserve, but I mean, like, I'm trying to think. What's
That's what.
we asked one time, like, if you had to pick a sound effect to describe you as a person, and you got what sound effect would you make?
What's that, like the whoosh sound when you disappear?
Hyperventilating.
Whoosh.
Like,
I haven't heard that one. That's
or
funny.
like that when like somebody
like when a cartoon
yeah,
just shoots
splits.
off the screen. Yeah, that's an interesting choice.
Ca-
It's like-
Coyote and a trash compactor.
Oh god.
Jeez, that's good.
that's-
It's like,
That's good.
is that what your dad describes your music as?
No.
That's like a really emo answer.
Yeah, it was Duke's.
So, I think there's a delay in the chat.
Yeah, there is. There's a slight delay.
All right.
That's interesting.
Did you have one?
Yeah, dude, hyperventilating.
Yeah, okay. You need a bag.
No, I'm fine. I'm gonna need a bag if I can't figure out who fish and chips is.
Bag of
What next?
A
What
bag
next?
of
What do you mean? What next? See you later.
Speaking of what's next, what do y'all have next? Y'all have tours coming up? Any shows that you want to promote? Like, as
I'm
far
playing
as-
at the airport in December 10th.
Dude, only in Austin can people say that, and you're like, oh hell yeah, dude, that's dope. Like if someone said that in Dallas, you'd be like, the fuck is wrong with
At
you?
the taco,
Like, are you legally playing at the airport?
Yeah,
Like-
actually at the Taco
Deli
Well,
stage.
in
Deli
Austin,
stage.
they're like, oh, we've got
Right next
3
to the-
stages
yeah,
at the
right
airport.
next to the Ray Benson stand up.
It's the Ray Benson stage.
Right next to the Ray Benson stand up. Look for me December 10th, 1 to 3, Taco Deli stage.
What year was? You know who was? No, but that's not his birthday. Sorry, I'm still trying to figure that out.
No, we'll keep it going.
I
We'll play the.
I do
Who
White
Gets
Horse
Fish
every
and Chips
Wednesday
game.
night at midnight, and I'm playing in Huntsville, Texas tomorrow with my boy James Steinley,
Yeah,
doing a song swap.
Huntsville. Hell yeah,
Yeah.
that's what's up. How far is that from here? I've never actually
It's
been out.
3 hours.
Like 20 minutes.
Yeah,
And
3
don't
hours.
cheapen it up. Are you just
Time
drinking the
is
spare
relative.
whiskeys?
That's dude in Texas, man. That's like normal shit. Everyone else is like 3 hours. That's out of state.
Power spot.
Say, what do you got going on? You got any shows?
I'm
My and Bruce are doing a big tour. You're
I
good.
don't
He's
know.
gonna play Japan finally.
Oh, I'd love
No,
to do that. That
I don't
would
know.
be Great.
uh,
That would be great.
That would be
That
fun.
would just be great.
I feel like they'd appreciate the fuck out of it.
Of course they would.
Be line dancing.
America.
be with Mike and the Moon Pies at White Horse on the day after Thanksgiving. Right?
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
So whatever that day is. And then
Check me on
That's,
base.
next Friday,
Yes,
right?
dude.
Is it coming? Yeah, next Friday.
Yeah, next Friday.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then
That's it.
Cosmic
And then we're
Cough
breaking up.
is like not happening. Oh yeah, I guess we are breaking up actually.
No, I don't know what's going on.
Oh yeah. I only know it's next Friday
Hey,
because I'm going to Dallas. for
Every
this.
Tuesday at Harlock Lounge.
Yeah,
Hey,
with
my
me.
who
favorite.
do you have next Tuesday?
I don't know.
I rocked your shirt yesterday. It reminded me of that.
Nice.
I love that one. It's a good shirt.
Buy t-shirts from bands.
Best merch yet.
Yeah. And follow bands and like them so that people know that music is still liked.
Yeah.
Jordan Young and his
Oh,
friend.
it's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Support music for sure. It's. mean,
I
it's
do have
the
shirts
only way.
left, but you've got to tell me who I'm sending them to.
Are y'all really what?
Yeah, any money donated on the stream, I'll give to these guys too.
Are we really what, Brenton?
I wonder if this is somebody who really is.
Who's Brenton?
No, it's my girlfriend. But I'm not disappointed in hearing from. Do you want to play. What the fuck is this? No, that's not from her. That sounds really bad.
Like, okay, we're changing gears.
This is not going good.
Oh man.
Are y'all really breaking up?
No.
No.
Yes.
Nice. Really breaking up?
I think it's just not working.
It's just a delay.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Broken heart.
Yeah.
Never.
No breakups on the horizon.
No.
Only going up. Well, yeah, do y'all want to throw out like social media or websites or anything else that I could throw up on screen for the YouTube version, and that way people know where to like find y'all, and they can give you the follow and whatnot if they see this in a couple weeks.
I mean, I'm just on Instagram, and
what's your handle?
I don't know.
Wichita_Mayeux. I know.
I'm Wichita_Mayeux, and then I have Mayeux and Broussard. Mayeux_Broussard.
That's it. Yeah.
How
do I know this?
I know. Come on.
Yeah.
Cory Johnson TV. No Ian Cory.
But he used to be Senor Bojangles.
I like that.
And I couldn't remember his name at first, so I just called him Senor Bojangles.
That's funny.
For a while, yeah. It got pretty irritating, man.
I'm sorry.
I just like,
and then you changed it, and then I was like, "Oh, that's his name."
I remember
TV.
telling you we were standing out behind White Horse one night, and I told you that I was about to change my Instagram name, and you go, "Oh, so people could find you whenever you play and say your name," and I was just like, "Yeah, pretty much."
Yep. Keeping it professional.
And also follow Britton Kim at rather large Korean on Instagram. I'm not joking. That's really it.
That's hilarious.
RATHERGEKOREAN.
Do it.
Bring Me the Horizon is a great band, by the way.
Didn't that guy get in trouble for peeing on somebody?
I don't know, but I don't think you should be able to get in trouble for that. I mean, if you tried to pee on me, I just step out of the way.
I knew a lot of people that would pee on people.
R. Kelly? Yes, R. Kelly.
Yeah, that was one of them.
I'm gonna find.
You can find me at Music Making Moritz.
Wild Disguise, and there's no underscores or anything.
At Wild Disguise, because I somehow was able to capture that fucking name.
Drip.
And that's about it.
The guy filming.
You can find Wild Disguise everywhere the fuck else on them internets.
Listen to my EP if you want to. If you don't, that's fine. I don't want you to listen to it if you don't want to.
You should totally listen to mine because you'll very likely like it.
Even if you don't want to listen, just click the play button and walk away.
Turn the volume down.
Yeah.
Because get them streams up.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. In this day and age, man, fucking plays mean so much. That's how you're gonna get that extra show or the festival or whatever the fuck.
And just like something. If you're like on Facebook and like your friends like sends you something to like it, you should just go ahead and do it. Just because, like, what does it fucking matter?
But wait a couple of hours so they don't think you're just desperately waiting for their invitation.
Or if you're already liking every
but don't forget,
picture,
because that also happens.
leave a comment.
It does.
You know, like take it to that next step.
We'll be waiting for you.
You think that's your spirit bird?
What is your spirit animal? Have you ever?
My spirit animal?
Have you ever taken
a raccoon
before on the podcast? We can get into that.
Yeah. Have you ever like thought about
I'm a raccoon.
Or, like, gone into it?
You're a raccoon.
I think you're more an armadillo.
No, I'm a raccoon.
So it makes you a raccoon.
If you smoke some peyote, you're just
because I have. They have fat right here, like me, and they sometimes have bags under their eyes. They always have bags under their eyes. I spend most of my time up at night, just like them.
Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. It's not like what animal do you look like.
And
no, that's.
And going back to my favorite records, JJ Kill, naturally, that's like what's on the cover. So I just want to be a raccoon.
Okay.
I can see. Fred says, "I can see Tate being a raccoon."
Similar diet.
I have no idea what
it's garbage all the time.
And raccoons are thieves. Which I'm not necessarily.
That's where that's me, guys.
I'm not necessarily a thief, but I will say.
I don't own
I'll
this
take
jacket.
things that.
All right, I have a confession I'd like to make. So the other day I was at Goodwill.
Am I gonna have to edit this out?
Did you steal something?
My God.
No, but I did
They
switch
filter
the price tag on something, and they're like, "This jacket's not that cheap." And
They called you out on it?
oh yeah, totally. And I like acted like I
How big was
on
the
phone.
price difference? How big was the fucking price?
which
It
one
was
were you
like
at?
$10. I
At
mean, I guess-
Goodwill, that's a massive jump.
Yeah.
That's like a.
Yeah.
Which one were you at?
800%
Yeah.
price.
Well, I'm not gonna reveal all this.
Oh,
Yeah.
tell me.
It's like
afterwards.
He's like, I want to go back and do it again.
She's in the microphone, like right here.
That's
Well,
funny.
they came back. She was like, "Yeah, this
Like,
jacket's
what?
like $30." And I was like, "Well, like, what's wrong with like $14.99?"
Was that the?
I remember
Yeah.
in
The
high school,
Euler
girls did that
May.
at Walmart to get away with self-checking out wine. They just put
Mm.
like
Yeah.
water bottle price tags over the wine price tag,
Oh,
and
that
then
is
just
so
go like
fucking
scan.
smart.
It's like
Yeah.
cheaper, and no one's coming to ID you.
That's such a price
Jeez.
tag.
I
That's
know.
crazy.
The first time I heard that, I was like 200 IQ. Like, you deserve the wine.
Yeah, Jesus
Dude,
Christ.
we
Oh, it's
realized,
Yeah.
dude, the twins growing up, they realized that the back of the cigarette rack at Walmart with all the like cigarettes and stuff backed up to the magazines, and you could like stick your hand through the magazines and just like grab like packs of
Oh
cigarettes.
my God.
So we would
Yeah.
just like go and fucking just like stockpile like in our jacket pockets, just like
Oh, that's
packs of
great.
like whatever we could reach, and then just like walk straight out of Walmart. I only did it once. I felt weird. I was always the guy that was like, "Hey, we shouldn't be doing this."
That makes sense.
Walmart's only made like 100 billion this year, guys.
Yeah.
Back to the spirit animals, though. I want to hear y'all's answers as well. I'm curious now.
Fish and Chip, text me. I'll get you a t-shirt. I'll give you a t-shirt if you tell me who you are. Yeah, for real. Who are you? Exactly. I'll give you a fucking free t-shirt if you let me know who you are. Can I have one of those rolling rollers?
Yeah, give him a rock.
I want to rack.
Probably warm by
I want
now.
to rack. No, this is still covered.
Is that your spirit animal?
Oh,
Is it
shit.
rolling rock?
Oh,
A warm,
shit.
a warm rolling rock.
I'm using my jacket. Got sensitive hands.
James, do you have one?
Text me right now. Like, I'm giving you fucking 2 minutes. I'll give you a free t-shirt. You have a spirit animal? Is that what we're still on?
Yeah.
I've never been given one.
And you've never found it through ceremony.
Brent says you're a
Yeah.
groundhog.
That actually like kind of makes sense a little bit.
Should be the horse
I'll
in
go
the
with
rolling
that
rock
one then.
bottle.
Dude,
But
that's
yeah,
funny.
no, the bass player that I used to like work with said I was a horse once just because it was just like they're tameable, but but like kind of wild at the same time, and I was like, well, that makes kind of sense. But I kind of like Brenton, so I like the groundhog.
I'm trying to think of the
Said
most.
armadillo's pretty chill.
I'm trying to think of the most anxiety-ridden animal. A
I
possum.
think I said
maybe?
armadillo for you, so I'm
Yeah,
wondering
you
if
said
that's
armadillo.
like the delayed chat.
No, that's not that. It's not that far. But platypus is pretty
Oh.
fucking dope.
Yeah, totally.
That is something like platypus.
like
is
the duck-billed, or
Yeah,
just like
duck-billed
platypus.
That's like the most confusing.
Is it a
animal.
possum or opa? You know, I knew a guy
You-
that
you
called him
can-
an opossum before.
Well, you
and I don't
can
buy
do
that shit.
both. It's like grammatically correct to do both.
Oh, is it really? I
Yeah,
always thought people were just
But it's
trolling
literally
if they,
stupid
like,
to call
said
them
the
opossum.
Yeah, no one would say
Opossum?
opossum.
I hate
Yeah.
that. I hate
Yeah,
whenever
yeah.
somebody says opossum.
Oh, possum.
It's like a pterodactyl or something.
Ew.
Pterodactyl.
My heart's a oh, possum.
Oh,
Oom,
see.
ba, mow, mow. Giddy up.
Giddy down. Hey, Britton, what am I?
I'd also like. I'd love to be like a food sloth or something.
That's
Just,
super
like, you
chill.
Just, like chill the fuck out. And just like
That episode of Planet Earth is fucking
right?
phenomenal. And he's just like
That
slowly creeping, and then he
planet-
goes for a swim, and you're like, "What the
Yeah.
fuck? They
So,
swim?" Like this is
America.
crazy.
We were talking about like the glypta, whatever.
How do they
things,
not
these
just get like
giant-
eaten all the time by like everything?
What you talking about, people?
Sloth.
Sloths.
Like
So,
they
like
should be
back
up
in
for
the
grabs.
day, back in the day, but like a few thousand years ago.
You know, not way back in the gap.
Way back in the day. You know, we snap and do a swim. Anyways, there's these like 20-foot tall sloths used to walk around America.
Damn.
It was like 8 tons. I
That's
don't know
a
what they're
big
called.
ass
I mean,
sloth, bro.
the book that I was reading at the time, or am currently reading, is like calls them just giant sloths. So
You're like
did
20
they
feet
go-
tall.
they're like 20 feet
That's
tall.
so
That's
big.
annoying,
Could you
dude.
imagine? Right? Could you imagine?
Imagine how
just
slow they were.
That's what I was thinking.
Exactly.
Like proportionally,
Like,
if
no
the
wonder
little
they're
guy-
not around.
Well,
Like,
totally.
Fuck you,
what's
Britton.
going on here?
Britton just told me that my spirit animal is a skunk.
A
dude. That's
skunk.
weird as fuck.
Well, I mean,
Let's
but
go here, skunk.
that's actually kind of nice because skunks are pretty.
They're
as far
adorable,
as like
yeah.
You always got that
the-
dank.
and then you always. And then on top of that, like if you ever don't want to be in a situation, you let everybody know you don't want to be in that situation.
I'm sure that this is alluding to the fact that I always stink.
Did you fart?
No, I just naturally stink. I'm a stinky boy.
Well, we all do. We're musicians.
I just-
Dude, look at this elephant's dinger. It's so big.
I wonder because we're on the green screen. Is
Can
it just,
anybody-
like,
It's
hanging
his-
or-
I- it's just
Yeah,
full body
dinger.
on top of the fucking head right here.
Yeah.
Dude, elephants are so crazy. They're so smart.
No, we can't see it. Hey,
Well, they can't see the green
They can't see the dinger. Hey, by the way, Fish and Chip, you didn't text me within 2 minutes, so you don't get the free shirt.
Damn.
It's your mom.
That's rough.
It is my mom.
She's like 12. 1292 is my locker code at the gym.
So we haven't figured out your
My
spirit animal yet.
I'm a hyena.
I don't know.
No,
about
you're
that.
not.
You're not fucking like.
I'm not accepting that. They're
You're not
not
some
nervous.
weird scavenger. Just like
He said nervous. What's nervous?
Dude, did you know they're
nervous
part of
is
the
a
bear
word
family?
that means like you're not.
No, like
into
what
the-
animal's nervous?
Oh,
Cat?
Cats are
No,
skittish.
Cats are cool. White-tailed deer, says this person.
A deer is very skittish. Very
But I'm not
nervous.
skittish. I'm just like I'm the kind of guy that'll. I don't know. Why
Are
are,
you
we
a
getting, why are we
chihuahua?
talking about me so much?
always like
Maybe
Because like we already figured out.
you know what? Maybe I am a chihuahua. You know?
Yeah. But you're
you
cool.
don't-
You're like cool Taco Bell Chihuahua. Like,
No.
yo quiero Taco
You're kind of
Bell.
like a marsupial.
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
What kind of marsupial?
I'm getting like a like a kangaroo.
Kangaroo?
Kangaroo kind
Like
of
a
vibe.
Put you in
wallaby?
my pouch.
Yeah. You're like friendly, loyal, but also like you kick somebody, the shit out of somebody.
That's some of the
Like,
nicest shit that I've ever heard anybody say about me, James. Thank
well,
you.
yeah.
It means a lot.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you get into the spirit animal.
I don't know. What do you think?
Maybe that bear.
Britton said,
There.
"Yeah, I can see Chihuahua.
Chihuahua, you see?
Chihuahua.
Chihuahuas can be fierce. My sisters will bite you right in the ankles. Doesn't give a
I will
fuck.
protect
You're
whoever the
related
fuck I
to
love.
Chihuahua?
Yeah.
Believe that.
Yeah.
Love these boys.
They're my cousin.
Yeah. Now, my sister has a little one that's just like, fuck everyone that shows up to the house.
That's how they are, man.
Yeah.
Look at these dogs. with
Brent wants to
mange.
know if we have any kinks.
Yeah, but they're not dogs. Did you know that? Hyenas are not dogs.
White-tailed
They're
deer,
related to
right?
bears.
White-tailed deer get me off, man, for real. Kings.
Britton, I've played in 2 bands with Britton long enough to know that he is very interested in kinks. And it's like, I think he has a kink for kinks. He likes to talk about kinks.
It's an
And there's been
interesting
things that have
topic.
been mentioned before in passing that he's just been like, I'm sure it's somebody's kink. It's a
Yeah.
real thing.
That's true.
You lead us on.
Brent, I guess I would imagine Brenton's into like Savage Love Cast and like those kinds of things.
I know at least one of his, and I won't say it.
If only we
But
could
I
see
know.
the Pornhub search history bar.
I don't want to see that.
That's how you know the weird kinks are out there, though. Like I watch some podcasts that'll bring up videos of stuff just out of like pure curiosity, just be like, this exists, and you just can't believe it, man.
Mm.
Mine would be like gypsies.
Gypsies.
Gypsies that travel by train. That's like the one thing that
That's
just like
what
gets
do
me
you-
so good.
That's what you type into.
It's like so specific.
There's just one video that comes up every time. It's like
Gypsies that
that's
travel by
me.
train.
Got him.
Gypsies traveling by train to a family funeral.
Yeah, that's my
Yeah.
thing.
That's where porn is getting to.
No, wearing black, man.
The gypsies, I'm pretty sure that's an offensive term.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, you
I think-
can't see that.
All right, circus people. I don't know.
Those are carnies.
Carnies traveling by train.
Circus people.
Man, you guys,
I don't think that's the technical
you guys
term. that
gotta
we're
give
looking
it the time.
Men with like calloused hands. That's what.
Men with calloused hands.
for. Tate likes a rough hand job,
That's a
guys.
kink.
That's funny. man.
Specific rough hand jobs.
I'm just kidding.
Type in hand job,
Lotionless,
LOL.
callous hands.
Yeah.
I'm glad we
That escalated. All right.
Yeah, you don't want to like permanently ruin your
What are the-
internet search history and get weird ads because you looked up some
What?
callous hand
Yeah.
porn.
What if I just had to run for office?
Yeah, what if you could run for any office, what would it be? Because there's a lot of shit you can do public service wise. Like you'd be like,
That's a good
you know,
point.
I'm the agriculture commissioner. I'm the fucking like
Railroad.
railroad. So that's like oil
My dad
and
works for
gas.
the railroad.
But
Yeah.
That's all.
I'm
That's
an
all oil and
engineer.
gas. So.
that's like all pointed stuff too, right? It's not
Yeah,
like
yeah.
something you can run
No.
for.
You run for railroad commissioner.
Oh, really?
Shit like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting. There's a
Did you
lot
know-
of
Yes,
fucking
being
vote?
a
In the last
not for
This person
railroad
knows the
commission.
road.
Is that your dad?
I don't know. Jesus Christ, this is weird. That's a good ass railroad. It is. That's where my dad works.
BNSF's
Dude,
offered
what
me
the-
money.
What the fuck?
What would you run
That's
for, James?
terrifying.
You're gonna be mayor
You're
of
gonna
Boston?
bail? You just gonna, like
Dude,
leave?
I'm out.
Public office.
You just leave?
I'm nervous now.
Is that how this ends?
Yeah.
I am going to
Cory
run
looking
for
out.
president. I'm throwing out my presidential bid for 20.
You're not old enough, dude. Oh yeah. Well, you won't be.
I'm 31.
Was it
No, you got
2020?
So I got I got 4 more years to go.
Moritz
What
Kanye?
the fuck?
4
2020.
more years.
Who the fuck is this person, dude? And how do you know stuff like that? Terry? It's not Terry.
All right, I'm
That's
sorry.
great. I'm glad they had some chat interactions.
Why am I getting fucking trolled? How did you find me?
If you had one outfit to wear on a desert island, what would it be?
This shit, it covers everything up.
Yeah.
I thought it might be a denim.
Except I would use a different shirt besides this one. I've got resentment towards this shirt.
I would do
Cast
It would
the
be
fuck
a
out of it.
wildest guy shirt.
if I was on.
I don't have a Wild Sky short, and I don't have a Mayan
All right,
Bizarre shirt.
are we talking like
Merch coming
logistics?
soon.
I've got y'all.
Merch coming soon.
I have both of y'all shirts coming.
Are we talking like what's gonna last us long on the desert island?
No.
No,
So,
what's
or
also
you
you're
say
gonna
what
look
I-
best.
no, hold on. I got a better question. What would you eat every day for the rest of your life without the repercussions of like health, like kind of any health repercussions? I think.
Chocolate cake.
What do you mean?
Is it just one
Just like
thing?
yeah,
You can
every
only-
day
You
eat,
can
like,
only eat the
It's
same.
one
yeah,
item.
you're eating
It
the
can't be
same-
like a plate.
Like, well, like it could be like a type of stuff. Like if you like say like pizza.
Golden
right?
Corral,
you
go
have,
down,
like,
you get
yeah.
everything.
You're like, I just favor. Like, they bring me all the
Yeah.
food.
I'm going to Luby's. Okay.
Can I do like a sandwich and soup combo?
The problem is, even your favorite thing would get old so quick.
Oh, dude, nothing that Luby's gets.
See, I get torn between pizza and burgers.
Oh, we're doing like broad.
Yeah, it's like kind of like
Tacos.
yeah, see,
Fucking-
like some people have tacos.
With-
Chicken
but,
fried
like,
steak is the shit, Britton.
Taco
Yeah.
deli, steak and cheese taco with the donut sauce. Every day.
that one is really good.
All day.
Yeah.
Every day. Hire me. Hire me. Don't look at this video while I'm talking.
What?
I mean, armadillo snickers.
My bad.
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know, man. I do love tacos, but that's okay. That's not a great answer. Like same with pizza. I mean, it is and it isn't because it could be anything.
It's pretty universal. Yeah,
you
can do
can
whatever
literally
you want
put
with it.
anything in a tortilla. and
I
call
love
it a
cheese
taco.
pizza.
But like, yeah, like dude,
Cheese
when I
Mine's
was a
Tate,
kid,
and I'm addicted to
like
cheese
there's a reason
pizza.
I wanted to move to New York when I was like 18. It was like one, I wanted to like work in film and do that shit, but like and like
Yeah.
you know, but really just live in New York. But like the other one was just like I want to like be in a place where I can eat fucking pizza
Yeah.
every day, and like
Wow.
Dude, you can
and
eat
actually
pizza in
be
any town.
but be good, but it'd be good. Like really fucking good.
You ever had DiGiorno?
Pizza's so
It's
bad
not-
for you.
It's not bad, dude. It may not be delivery, but it ain't bad.
Dude, no, the other
Oh
night,
my god.
the other
yeah,
night-
yeah, yeah, yeah.
the other night we went to the Grand, which I love the Grand.
I don't know what that is.
It's a bar on airport. It's
Okay.
great, awesome bar. But I was like, oh, I know they have food, and so took somebody there for food, and we were like, yeah, we'll get a pepperoni pizza or whatever. And the pizza like came out, and I was like, this looks like DiGiorno. And they're like, yeah, that's what it is. And so
No shit.
straight up, like I paid like $7 for like a $4 DiGiorno pizza.
Yeah, but you didn't have to make it.
Convenience
tear
fee.
the
Boxed
shit out.
it.
That's hilarious.
It was too hot to eat, so we still had to just box it and take it home. Like,
They give you a pizza box?
yeah, they did. They're
Yeah,
super
dude, they're
nice.
Or is it just like a DiGiorno box?
Yeah,
Like,
one
slide
of
it back in
the
here.
girls, one of the girls there refers to me as Sad Boy. She's like, yeah, every time, yeah.
Bring them into question.
She was like,
for
yeah,
us.
every time you come here, you just order a whiskey and a beer, and you just sit there and rub your head. And I was like,
You've been caught by the mob and they want payment. They agree to take one limb away at your choice. What limb do you get rid of?
Wait,
Is
has to
it
be a
like
limb?
appendages? Or
left arm.
you gotta play
What?
with that, dude.
That's such a quick
Get rid of a
answer.
fucking leg.
No.
Like you play with that.
I want to be
shit.
able to escape.
You don't skate now.
When the fuck was the last time you skated? I've been with you, dude. I spend a lot of time with you. I've never
Oh my
actually
God.
seen you on a skateboard.
I said escape. I want to be like escape like a situation.
Tate still has hopes for being on the cover of Thrasher magazine.
No skateboarding. I want to be able to escape. like run from
Dude, Fish and Chips
like
said,
run from the cops. Or like,
Fish and Chips said, you can let them take your pecker. You don't really need it to skate or play. That's right.
Oh, that's rough, man. A full limb, man. That's like not like the Japanese dudes. They're just taking a pinky.
Fucking
It's just a respect thing.
left leg.
Left leg. Man.
Left leg for sure. That's the knee that hurts the worst.
Okay, well, you're fixing problems
Yeah,
at the
dude,
same time.
Honestly,
Oh,
you're
geez.
saving me some fucking pain.
Dude,
Take that left leg.
you know there's people that have had their body modified where they intentionally amputated? Yeah, there's people that are like that far down that rabbit hole where they're like, fuck a tattoo or a scarring. Like, just
Whatever.
take my arm.
Yeah,
That's insane.
Isn't that crazy?
yeah.
It's like-
some people get their.
it's like watching
tongues,
Braveheart too many
forked.
times.
Yeah,
You know,
dude.
and like do the whole like. I'm like crying. Those last.
You know that and those people that fork their tongue, they can do this shit.
Yeah.
They can do this shit with their tongue.
Dude, yeah, that's a weird
I've like
community.
never seen.
Bye,
this
Britton. We
shit.
miss you and love you. We saying bye.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out, dude.
Bye.
Thanks for interacting with
Thanks.
us.
Love you. Have a good show.
Hit us with that follow if you
See
haven't
blood.
already.
Who the fuck are you?
Peace and love.
See blood.
Man.
Yeah, that's funny, man.
All right. What other questions? What's next?
Dude, I don't know if we can top you escaping. Like, that's ridiculous. That's hilarious.
But doesn't that make sense? Like, keep your legs so you can escape.
I think yeah, it's very logical.
Dude, I'm not. I'm not good at the guitar, anyways.
I
Like,
love how you
why
said
would I
run
be
from
worried
the
about?
cops,
I
like,
guess yeah, it's more of your storytelling.
I can still like fucking sing and be like, hey,
I'm one on tape.
until yeah,
that's the new
Just wanna
solo
run away.
project.
until
I'm
like
not gonna make it.
throat cancer
Dr.
hits
Hook.
me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write
All right. What about
this
you?
out.
What, Lynn?
Left leg,
Left
dude.
leg.
I got a
Left leg,
yeah.
I got a painful left knee. I can do my guitar stuff that I do with both hands. Still able to, snow ski if I have to.
That's true. Are we talking about like here?
Dude, you could take it from at least. Honestly, I don't know. Like, that's weird. Because what would
It
the
might
use
have to
of this
remove your
much
dick.
up?
And like,
Yeah,
where are your
yeah.
nuts gonna be in like 20 years? So like, you might need like a little more. You know what I mean?
Hey, let's keep my nuts out of this, man.
Dude, what if they knew your knee hurted and they just did it from here?
Oh, dude, I'd be so
We'll leave it, bro.
I would be pissed. I'd be mad about that, like 6 inches. I'd just be like, why could you not just go? If they did it there, I'd be so pissed.
I mean, that could
dude.
like totally happen.
I do. Like,
I
I've
was
got,
like with my
I've
dad
got pretty
the other
severe
day.
joint pain. And if they left that 6
You
inches
have,
at
like
an
Benjamin Button disease, or you like going
So,
backwards.
but this is
You heard it here first.
don't give them an exclusive.
Well, music-wise, I know we talked before about like albums that you would pick on the desert island, but what would y'all consider like as far as your sound, like your influences are, like who really created that vibe that y'all have? Like, I mean, it's probably different for all y'all, but
It's always, that's the toughest.
It's a weird one. I don't know.
I'll tell you, like, I can say this. Whenever we were talking about doing these 5 songs that we just did, whenever I was talking to Shane Baker, who produced and played guitar on this, whenever he was asking what I wanted to go for, I told him I wanted it to sound like a mixture of The War on Drugs and Dolls as if they were taking on a country record.
that's a badass thing to say to any producer or engineer. Like, they'd have to respect the fuck out of that. Such good bands.
Yeah.
It's dope. How about you, James?
Sorry, I was still... I was still laughing about it.
I can't do it.
Limbless Tate.
Influences. Sorry. I would say. I mean, just like Rolling Stones are a big one. Beatles are a big one just because of their sort of like ethic of going in and just being like, let's just try shit and have a good time.
Right.
All that. And same thing with like Beach Boys and all that. But I would say like for Wild Disguise, probably like the biggest influences were like Fleetwood Mac and like Granddaddy and
Nice. That's awesome.
What else? Like even like Marvin Gaye and like stuff like that was just kind of like lots of just like different like an amalgamation of just like stuff that I really love and have listened to over the years, and wanted to like kind of incorporate different like little pieces of it. But when it comes to country, it's all about Chris Christopherson.
Oh yeah.
Like up and down. Like I've never been able to walk away from that like sort of format when it comes to that. And even like I remember when I was first starting to write country music, one of my friends like gave me a critique of just saying like, he's like, you're just writing Chris Christopherson songs, and I was like, well, what's wrong with that?
Not a damn thing. Yeah.
So
That's a good answer, man. How about you, Tate?
I just
I just want to escape.
I don't know. I just like right now I want to write like short songs that are tough. That's it. Yeah.
I mean,
that was a short, tough answer.
yeah.
Dude, that's
Short songs that are
Remember that
tough.
mouse? Like, man, that's so tough.
It's tough as fuck.
That's so
All right,
tough,
like
bro.
like 2 minute like
These birds on top of
Just
like,
on a mound.
anthill.
Yeah.
2 minute
It's like
2
the
minute
anthill
mean
from
songs.
like the Indiana Jones movie that they carry off that Russian.
Dude, speaking of movies, let's do another desert island. If you're gonna go watch a movie and have one available.
Just one. We're just picking one.
Yeah, let's just do one movie.
Just one.
Just one. It's really tough. Do just one.
Tombstone
Tombstone.
or Dumb and Dumber.
Okay. 2 movies then.
Doctor Strangelove
Oh,
would be
damn.
mine.
I was curious about yours, and you went to
Yeah.
film school and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I every year on my birthday, this isn't a question you ask, But I always watch either that or A Clockwork Orange because those were like the two movies.
I'm a Kubrick guy too.
Yeah, those were the two movies that when I was like, I was 12, and I remember we had this upstairs room that was like one of the only rooms that had like, HBO in it, and I was like, 12 years old, I'd sneak up there and like watch movies and like stuff like that, or like Cinemax and
Nice
shit. But like,
it's big as a kid, man.
Oh yeah, it was great. But yeah, one night there was, it was. I don't know if you remember, but like when HBO first kind of came out, like they would put out these like before they showed the movie, they would show this like 5-10 minute documentary about it, and they'd be like, "This is why this movie is important. This is why I like it." Blah blah blah. And so I remember going up there. And it was like the midnight showing was, A Clockwork Orange. And like I watched this like short 5 to 10 minute documentary about it at the beginning. And as a 12-year-old, I was like, after watching that and the movie, I didn't totally comprehend what I just watched.
That's a lot to
but
take
it was
in.
like, and even you could watch
You saw Clockwork Orange when you were 12?
Yeah,
I saw it probably about the time.
Jesus.
And I was just like, and a couple of years later, I read the book in an English class that I was in middle school. And my dad actually gave me the book.
I was like still watching Veggie Tales.
But yeah, I didn't really comprehend totally what I was watching, and I was, but I knew that it was like important, and I knew that it like meant a lot to me, and that it like changed something about me. Wasn't sure what it was, but it was like some sort of perception. And Anthony Burgess, the guy who wrote The Clockwork Orange, is one of my favorite authors. But so yeah, it's between that would be my desert island pick. Would more likely be The Clockwork Orange, but really Dr. Strangelove, because it's essentially both a comedy, a satire.
What's your fucking final answer, dude?
Okay, yeah. It's like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Dr. Strangelove.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd go comedy.
Did you pick one?
No, this guy's been fucking talking for the last 10 minutes. Okay, mine is also a Kubrick film, but it's The Shining because every time I watch that, it's a different movie.
Oh,
every time I watch it,
yeah.
it's a different film.
It's a good one.
Yeah,
Definitely.
short answers like that are sweet.
Yeah.
I'll get on it, man. I'll work
I
on
love
it for
movies like that.
I love Tombstone.
I would go
love
comedy
Dumb Dumber.
just because there's like certain like I don't know, like Will Ferrell type vibes that just hit me so good.
Oh,
like
totally,
I'll laugh every time, no matter how many times I've seen it. It'd be hard to pick one, but something like that.
Yeah, Talladega Nights.
Yeah, Talladega,
Anchorman,
so great.
even like the
Step
less
Brothers,
like Semi-Pro. I've seen that movie
Semi-Pro
probably
is
1,000
so
times.
good.
Like I can pretty much quote that whole
Hey, I
movie.
did get shot.
No, I just watched like fucking what's the new one? Stepdads.
Nobody called anybody.
Stepdads too.
JT.
Or Dad's Home.
Daddy's Home.
Daddy's Home too.
I haven't seen that
Oh, the
one.
other guys.
Dude, the second one.
So
The
good.
other guys.
Fucking
Yeah.
great.
All right, one more question. Let's do one more.
Let's do one more. Hey, I've got one for you. You were born in Monroe.
I was born in Monroe, Louisiana. And then what?
So for people reading your name, how do you actually pronounce it?
Mayeux, like Mayeux have a weird last name.
Is that what
Why
you
did
tell
you just
people?
say that like a New York Jewish man? Why you have a weird
Like
last name?
Mayeux got a weird
Why you have
last
a weird last
name.
name?
It's like Bayou, but with an M.
Yeah, Bayou with an M. Mayeux.
I've heard them tell people
Mayeux.
that before.
Add as many A's to it as you want to.
You say mine, Cory Johnson.
It's one song.
His ancestors killed Pocahontas.
Dude, no, get the fuck out of here.
Don't you put that on me, Ricky Bobby.
And Ariel.
The mermaid?
Yeah, dude. All the Disney characters.
I was like thinking about this earlier because everyone has like anecdotes about like mermaids, right? Like everyone's just like, I've seen one, you know.
Everybody I've ever met, James. Everybody I've ever met.
I've seen
fucking mermaid.
I seen one.
I've never heard that. I've heard some people tell me some weird shit though about things they've seen in the forest.
Specifics, but
We haven't.
None of
I've
us
seen
have.
one at Ripley's, believe it or not,
None of
the
us
dried
have
one.
seen
You know what I'm talking about?
But like
the baby that they put into a fucking fish head.
Why is that not like?
Have you been
Why
to
aren't
the
mermaids
thing?
more incorporated in like strip clubs?
What do you mean?
Why aren't
Like,
they?
why aren't there like
What's she
mermaid
just gonna
strippers?
flop around on the floor? Like, how the fuck is she gonna get around?
I don't know.
What was the last
We're talking
question?
about topless bars.
I haven't been there.
Oh,
Topless bars.
Okay, if
Right,
they
yeah,
had like
yeah.
a breathing apparatus,
Yeah,
and
like
the whole thing
Applebee's.
was
Yeah, yeah.
underwater, you know,
Chili's after 8 o'clock.
like some Las Vegas shit.
What was the question again?
What is the last question? We have one more, right?
I mean, nothing. in
Like
particular,
you're
but-
our captain. Dude.
Yeah, I mean, at this point,
Call me Ishmael.
we've gone for a while now. It's up to y'all. Like, we
Alright.
can just shoot the shit. We can call it. Doesn't matter to me.
Fish and chips. I'm giving you one last chance to
Is
fucking
this like
Ecstasy.
reveal yourself. Reveal yourself.
Anticlimactic, yeah. I mean,
Let's
that's how,
see it.
that's how they go sometimes. So.
Is that what that means? XTC?
That's like club. That's a strip club, right? No.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
all right. Hey,
ecstasy.
yeah.
Ecstasy.
I got a question.
Is this the last question of the night?
This is the last question of the night.
Let's hear
And
it.
this includes you too.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're Jake. You're Jake.
That's me.
You're your host, Jake Kirshen.
You said titty bar.
You're
right?
Jake, host Kirshen.
You're Jacob.
Have you ever been fired from a job?
Yes.
Are we
Yeah.
just giving short answers?
He had been fired by someone that I thought was like a really good friend of mine. And then he got promoted to manager, and within like 2 weeks, I got fired for being 10 minutes late to his shift.
I got
I
laid
was
off.
very upset.
I got laid off from an electrical job 3 days after I got into an argument with the boss. But I didn't get fired for getting into an argument with the boss. I got laid off because business was slow. You know, so I think that I did get fired.
Classic.
But he didn't like actually he didn't. Which I mean, like I feel like that would be the pleasing thing to do is just to be like, oh, you little shit, you're fucking fired. So he didn't even give himself that. He was just like, hey man, business is slow. We gotta let you go. You know, and so
It was like a Dr. Seuss book.
yeah.
This
Just
is
needed to let you know
slow.
that business has been
Gotta
slow.
let you
I'll
go.
Yeah,
tell you
let's
this,
go.
that's the electrical job that I was working before I moved to Austin. And if it wouldn't have been for me losing that job, I'd have never moved here.
Well,
Yeah.
thank
Well, thank
that guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kojo.
Kojo.
Let's hear
Got a
his
new
take.
album out right now.
What was the
Got
question?
EP out.
You asked it. God
What was
damn
the
it.
question?
Have you
Oh,
ever
you've been
from a
fired.
job?
I'm fired.
Oh, yes.
Did you tell yours?
No,
I've been fired a few times.
Pick your favorite.
most memorable
Did you,
fire.
ever, did you ever like flip a desk or like?
No, I've never like been fired for being like bad at what I was doing. It was for just like a sort of like sporadic moment of not doing it well.
Like urinating on a customer?
No, like so. Remember when I worked next to you, like you were at the wet salon
Oh, yeah.
down there,
Yeah.
and like I was working as a women's shoe salesman. at
Jesus
the time.
Christ.
Yeah,
Al
yeah.
Bundy.
Yeah, no, for real. Yeah. And
He was fact.
yeah, I got fired because I left to go pick up a futon. The boss wasn't there, and I told the person that I was leaving to do that, but while I was gone, they proceeded to get wasted, and the other guy who was there passed out with a needle in his arm in
Oh.
the bathroom.
Jeez.
So then,
Holy shit.
Yeah.
And you got fired.
Yeah, because everyone got fired. It was a fire sale.
They
You're
call
like,
that cleaning.
At least
Yeah,
he was at work.
Yeah. That was one of them. The first one was one of the first jobs I ever had. They kept getting me high, like over.
They kept doing that to you?
Hey, I'm on this podcast with you.
So they finally had a conversation.
You're clocking in. And
They're like,
they're
hey, like we don't know about this. Anyways, I'm looking for a job.
I want
right now.
I want to know the flip side. I mean, I want to hear Tate's answer, but I also want to know like
I've also been hired.
what's your
many
favorite
times, and I
job
keep
outside of
coming back.
music? You know, like what would you do if you absolutely like couldn't make it as a musician? Are you gonna go grind out for the 9 to 5?
I would.
I want to cook exotic meats.
Like
That
these,
sounds dope.
Damn.
like these elephants. Right
That sounds dope, dude.
Elephant?
I'm super into culinary stuff.
Would you cook an elephant?
No, that'd be too tough.
Are you just saying that?
Well, no, I'm not just saying.
No,
that.
not if you slow cook, dude.
What if you were just such a good
Slow
cook?
cook
You
and
could-
smoke
yeah.
it. For like,
I would eat the
for a
fuck
while.
out of some ostrich.
I have.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, ostrich is dope.
Yeah.
Ostrich is very good. I still work in the film industry,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna still do that. But yeah,
you
but
do
I-
makeup for porn, dude.
But that's true, and I'm very good at it. But the other thing is definitely culinary stuff. Like when Will and we mentioned Will earlier from Sergeant Sound, shout out. Him and I, like when we used to go hunting and used to like all that kind of stuff, would sort of fantasize about like a restaurant that we would open someday that would have like stuff like we like did exotic meats that were endangered, just as like a kind of like fun amusing kind of thing,
That'd be sick.
like bald eagle like wings.
Jesus, no, dude. I'm not too
But
exotic.
but I'm not saying like we would actually do that.
It's not
I'm saying like
actually
we would
gonna-
cook like it was a side.
It's a bald
I
eagle food
offended
truck.
his patriots.
No.
Sorry.
That makes sense though, because you can apply your like art mindset to food, like to cooking. How about you, Tate?
Fucking
You're gonna go preach at a church?
I don't know. I'd like to drive the boat on the Cane River in Natchitoches, Louisiana during like the Christmas lights.
You'd be a good youth
They're
minister.
just like
Just during the Christmas lights?
they're like November and December.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's what he.
It's like
that's what he always
It's
wanted.
badass.
You're like
It's really pretty.
a couple months out of the year.
Everyone's just happy.
Yeah.
It's kinda like,
You
Yeah.
would be.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
all right. Should we all get up and bow?
Yeah. Let's go now.
Yeah. If y'all want to shout out the socials one more time, I can end it on that and throw everything up on the screen. You know what I
Cory
mean?
Johnson TV, Wichita _Mayeux.
Yeah.
Music making more.
Music making
Love
more.
the skies.
Go
Love
the
my name is
skies.
Sarge. Brenton Teddy's.
Brenton Kim.
B.Teddy's rather large Korean.
Yeah, check out all the musics, buy the merch, go to the shows, support these guys.
Wrangler butts drive me nuts.
Oh shit.
Zach with the emotes.
Fish and chips.
Yeah,
Don't forget the cat. That cat.
we'll for sure throw fish and chips
You're
up
dead
on
to
the
me, dude.
screen.
You never let me know who you are. Fish and chips.
Yeah, you smoke.
Thanks for hanging out, guys. I appreciate everybody in chat that contributed. If you didn't already follow, hit us with that follow. We'll be back in a couple weeks with another awesome artist of some kind. It's actually not been booked yet, so if you give a fuck to be on it, hit me up. If not, we'll find someone for sure. And any previous episodes that you missed, I edit all these, chop them down. I haven't been cutting nearly as much lately, but they're going to go up on the YouTube channel. So forever you'll be able to watch this brilliant interview / hangout session. Thanks, amigos.